hope you can hear me. I can't even see your comments this time because they have once again shut down my comment section. But if you can hear me, we're gonna put it on this my comments. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm looking at here on my screen. If it's not one thing, it's another. So first my sound wasn't working on the other live stream, and now they're doing that thing they did a few months back where they completely they're getting at me. They took my whole chat thing offline. But if I go to my other platforms, my other channels, I have access to it just fine. But okay, they know what's going on. So this is what I'm looking at right now, guys. Where that monkey is, I should have my chat box in like my area. So oh my gosh. Okay. I can't see you guys yet, but I'm gonna get my comment section up on my chat. Hope I'm on the right thing here. I'm gonna log into my actual Harmony Portal Tarot live account over here. This lets you know though that what we're gonna be speaking about today, all of this, I took so many notes. This is literally now a webinar. Like we're going in. I'm not messing around anymore. But I already knew this was gonna be a powerful thing to talk about, and now I'm even more convicted, not conflicted, but like in my conviction that this is something we need to get out there. So I need to go to my own live stream. How do I do that? Let's see. I gotta go to my channel probably. Okay, it says I'm live. Okay, now I will be able. Hiring a great developer can be really hard. I don't need this sound on though. Let me get my little phone stand so it can hold up my. I like this little thing. It's so fun. My little teddy bear to hold up my phone. So I'm going to be looking all sorts of different places to get your feedback today. Okay. Round 2, we got this. Yes, Banana Anna S. Hi, Amber. Hi, Banana Anna S. Michelle De Leon. Oh my gosh, you guys. We have so much to talk about. As you can see here. As you can see. Like, and I even, for good luck, put it on the back of Wrigley's 100% spelling test. Like, not intentionally, but like, it was staring at me as I was holding it up. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's positive. So we're going to take the positives out of this negative situation of my chat being hijacked. Well, first, the sound was hijacked through no fault of my own. I did everything that I did to set this live stream up. I had chat on the other one, though. Don't on this one. So I guess you gotta take the good with the bad. Well, I can access chat on my phone, so this is the best scenario of what we're dealing with. So we're gonna roll with this and just get going. I don't know how long this webinar is gonna last, but I want to go in. Like I want to get at least cover the bases that I have here. And you know me, I go off on tangents as well. But I definitely will probably try to cross things off as I go, just so I hit all my talking points. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking all day. And I wanted to try to, and even here, like you can see some of my points are like, oh, put this up here, put this up here. Like what I should do from now on is, but I'm just like in the zone. Like I'm just like channel through my own spirit, writing this stuff out and just like, I feel like that guy from, you know, in the meme, he's got all the like the murder board with all the like lines going. Like that's how I feel right now. I'm like, I want to get this information out. Not that I'm the only source of this information, but I have, I guess, maybe some unique insight on the situation and just what I've uncovered through what's been going on with me. Most recently, the most recent point that I can find or have uncovered in my shamanic journeys so far was something that happened toward the end of September-ish through of 2021 through early 2022, but you know, it's still ongoing in my life. I'm still reclaiming and working my way back. We're going to get into maybe not the most personal of my story, but at least some touching points. But we're going to start out, we're going to use some Montana incense, Ponderosa pine, my favorite. This is like the quintessential Montana scent right here. If you've never been to the forest in Montana, it's amazing. It's amazing. Just the smell alone is just like so clean and pure and fragrant and just, oh my gosh. Ponderosa pine, especially when you get this like warm waft of it. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, I wish I could put it into words. It's just so otherworldly. It's beautiful. If I could like put that in a candle or like a cologne or a perfume scent, oh, I so would. Oh, it's the best. Well, my fan's on just to get some airflow going in here. Because when I burn incense, I don't like just a stagnant room. I like the air flowing, which we're going to talk about stagnation here in our little webinar as well. But we're going to get some good vibes going. I already cleansed the space, and something I recently tuned into and then heard other outside validation from with sage. Sage is a great purifier. It's a great cleanser. But did you know that it cleanses, yes, the negative spirits, but it can also cleanse and clear the positive or beneficial guardians and spirits? Did you know that? So if you're using sage to cleanse and clear, you're doing maybe damage if you're not coming up with something of a sweeter scent like Palo Santo alongside of it to keep or allow the good or the clean or the benevolent spirits to be here with you. And of course, vet those out for yourself. But fun fact. Okay. So I'm going to try to timestamp as we go along. But you know me. Well, first and foremost, the timestamps don't align to what I'm actually seeing here on my end. And it's so weird having my chat over here. It's almost like I'm completely disconnected from it. And it's just so good to be able to see what's going on the screen. But we're going to make do. But let's just see who's here and what's going on. And I'm actually going to start a new playlist here. We've got our playlist for the Rude Awakening from the Awakening, which I think this could kind of go into it. But I might just make like a spiritual webinar playlist as well, so that these won't just get lost in the long list of all of my live streams. I want them to be easily accessible if you want to check back or take notes later or whatever. Just as much for me as for you to just kind of be able to organize this information in a way that it's easily able to be found, at least if you know where you're looking. So today we're going to be talking about destiny swapping. And what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by the fact I had no sound on my other live that I started right before this one was on September 13th. If you remember, that was the day we were supposed to draw for our glow box candle giveaway. And glow, like, think of it, glow box candle giveaway. To me, it's like bringing your power back, able to shine your light. Well, my light was dim that day because I wanted to do something benevolent for somebody, and my light was dim. So I had a huge migraine, and it didn't feel like just this natural progression of things. It came out of nowhere. It was an actual attack. I felt it coming in, and I knew from the moment one, it was an attack to keep me from being able to give from my heart to somebody. And we've eventually got it all worked out the following Wednesday live stream. But this was September 13th. So I had this migraine, and I missed that live stream that I was meant to do this or wanted to do this. That was in and of itself a destiny theft. It should have happened that day. I still see the same winner would have won regardless if it was Friday the 13th of September or, the following Wednesday, the 18th. We made it work. We made it happen. But during that time, I was in bed because migraines are miserable. So I was in bed and I went on this shamanic journey. And I'll keep the details mostly of it to myself, but I discovered some semi-recent destiny theft and 3 other major points throughout my life besides this one where I could point this just major diversion. Like I'm on my way to something and then major diversion. On my way to something, major diversion. Again. 4 major ones total that I can see but then I see all these little pinpricks in the energy where there were other times that even just little destinies, like, we'll take that, raffle pretty much, for instance, or the glow box giveaway as an example, where maybe I, in one reality, was supposed to win a raffle or something, but someone else won it because, pinpricks of my light were being siphoned. This is not just a me thing. This is an all of us thing. And today we're going to be talking about destiny swapping. So 8:54. I'm going to just try to do this. And then I'll probably make more concise, detailed breakdown of what we're talking about in timestamps. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. It'll show up in the show notes or the description and the pinned comment eventually, whether it's today or tomorrow. It'll be soon, though. Just know that. For those of you watching the replay, it may already be that way. So yay, good for you. You can just go right to where you need to be if you want to skip some of my rambling. So yes, I am going to now cross that part off the list. I talked about that. So, and that that the most recent major destiny swap that I saw happening to my own energy was on September-ish of 2021. That's where it kicked off. That's where it started. And it really was hitting hard until about mid 2022. Around my birthday is when I really started taking my power back with the situation. And I won't get into it, but those of you that have been following me for a while, you know I was kind of mixed up with this healer that took me for $13,000 in actual like big payments. And then over the course of September, October, November, December, January, 5 months of $150 sessions, sometimes multiple times a week, but at least once a week for those months. So upwards of around $20,000. And this person completely attached to my energy field, hijacked, destiny swapping, all the fun things. So that was fun for me, not. But what a great, valuable lesson I have learned, and I've since taken my power back as much as I can. I mean, so there's still deeper layers to this that I'm working through. But this is just the most recent one that I've been like purposely and actively working to combat and overcome. So what is destiny swapping? What is this? Another name for it could be called like karmatic transference, which that sounds like a hard thing to say. Destiny swapping or destiny theft also. It just seems like an easier way to put this information. So what is it? So, and I just wrote interchanging or altering one's predetermined life course with that of another person, usually involving spiritual, mystical, or metaphysical methods, but not always, but mostly. Because there are ways we can physically, almost like a reverse psychology, almost talking someone out of their destiny. But usually at the root of that, there are metaphysical, spiritual forces at play. Let's just put that there. But if you just want to get it into focus as something that can physically happen, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all the things. So now we know what destiny swapping is. Tuning in, this is just my own kind of download about it. So tuning in, destiny swapping happens because the controllers of this matrix want your destiny. And when you came into this matrix, you came in, first your spirit. Your spirit is not in the matrix. Maybe a part of your spirit is contained within the soul that's contained within the matrix. So just for context of how I'm seeing things come through. The whole spirit could not come through the matrix. I mean, maybe technically it could, I don't know, but I'm not about, like, just personally with the information I know and what's going on here, I'm not about to try to get my whole ass spirit locked and loaded in this matrix. Not going to happen. But just for context, so the controllers of this matrix, which is a false grid put over the original blueprint of planet Earth, because that's where we're at, that's what we're dealing with here. These controllers, they wanted that piece of your destiny. Of course, your spirit does have some say as what is actually seen in your birth chart. Your spirit does leave an imprint, does leave a mark on your blueprint, your birth chart, your numerology, your tarot birth cards, all the different ways of human design. Your spirit has some say and has had some say and is involved in that birth chart, if not fully, at least a little bit, a little fractal of that spirit. And we're going to get into ways you can kind of find your destiny or where your spirit shows up in your chart kind of after we go through signs that you've had destiny theft, and then, of course, tips and tricks to how to overcome said destiny theft. So that's kind of the roadmap we're working with. If I did not mention that, I did not mention that. So what is destiny theft? We're going through that. And then kind of my energy or what I've tuned in energetically to see what's going on with this destiny theft stuff. Signs you've been destiny thefted or karmatic transference has been happening in your life in big, like pivotal points or destiny points, or even just smaller ones. Because even if you're just affected in small ways, it can still be very, very annoying. But if it's like major destiny diversions, it can create major catastrophic things in your life and bring much unneeded suffering for you as this beautiful being of light here, just trying to make the most of things, and everything's going wrong. And if that's like your like life playbook, no, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not even your karma. You're sitting here living out. So, but we're going to get to ways we can really come back from this as much as we can. So Your spirit does have some say in what's going on in your birth chart. And these controllers will use easily controlled people to get to what's been promised to you. So even if it's your mom, your father, in-laws, co-workers, acquaintances, associates, your own children, whatever, whoever it is that's working to get to you, it may not be these people themselves that are working to get to this light. It's just they themselves are not having the spiritual hygiene and allow, a lot of people walking around here. I call them NPCs, and I know that's rude. I know that's a really rude thing to say, but really, if it's like the lights are on, but no one's home. And that does not mean they're soulless beings or whatever. They're acting in ways that they're being hijacked so that they're almost acting as soulless beings. Whether they have a spirit or not, I guess is kind of beyond the point. But if you have a spirit and you're not living in accordance with your spirit, you can be hijacked very easily. And someone you can kind of intuitively feel into this for the people in your life who are just very easily emotionally triggered for no reason. Like you can just look at them. You might even be able to just smile at them and they get triggered. A lot of these people, and through maybe no fault of their own, maybe they have some major wounds going on that they just don't even know are there, that they can't even have the awareness to heal. So we're not here to point fingers or to place blame or to try to get retaliation. That's not the name of our spiritual light's game here in this whole topic of destiny swapping. We're here to just take our power back, really. So I'm gonna cross off all of the stuff I've talked about. But yes, easily controlled people. So my mom used to have this saying that I carry with me to this day, and I didn't understand it back in the day because I was such a fixer. I wanted to fix people, or I saw this great potential in even the most down and out people, or people who were just not at all living in alignment with true spirit. I just saw potential in everybody and everything, everywhere, all the time. But my mom used to say, if you're going to lay with the dogs, you're going to get fleas. And I love dogs. So like back in the day, I'm like, that makes no sense because I love my dogs. But like I can now have that perspective, that hindsight being 2020, looking back on some of the shady characters I used to hang out with and some of the shady situations I got myself into. Hanging out with people who do DRUGSs when me myself have never even smoked WEED. I mean, like the strongest DRUG I've ever taken was when I got, like oral surgery to get my wisdom teeth out. That's the strongest. Even when I cut my finger off, like I didn't want to take that. I want to take, as my grandma used to call it, you don't want to take that dope. But I would hang out with a lot of people that did these things. Even the word METH. My two bestie friends here, this one was not there at the time, the one that passed away, my bestest friend, but my other friend, he even did this around me while I'm sitting on this very couch right here studying for a test that I have the following week because it was the weekend. And he had like 9 or 10 other dudes over and they were all doing that. And then eventually like the energy just got crazy and I walked home. I'm like, I can't, what is happening? Like no one even said that was going on. They just started doing it in my presence and it was very scary. But you lay with the dog, you're going to get fleas. I mean, obviously, I didn't get into the scene that they were doing or getting into, but energetically speaking, just being in the presence of people doing these things, I opened myself up for hooks, barbs, implants, entity infestation, like just being in that low vibe where people are literally conjuring spirits, and not good ones, by the way. You're opening yourself up. And, me, I kept coming back, every weekend after weekend, coming back, hanging out, trying to make them see that you can, living by example, sit on the couch, studying for tests, doing homework. But no, they did not have the eyes to see or the awareness to even tune in that there's a better way. I will say, though, since certain ones of those guys have passed away and others have cleaned their lives up. And I'm not speaking of my friend John that passed away. He had cancer, but he wasn't into the hard stuff like that, like at all. But the other one on the couch, he's cleaned things up that I know of anyway. And some of the others there have as well, but some of those other 9 or 10 people that were there, I know have since passed away by DRUGS related things. Okay, that was kind of a side tangent, but just knowing who the 5 people that you hang around the most, you're going to be very influenced by. Whether they're friends, coworkers, family members. And if you don't really hang out with people, but you're just communicating back and forth online, count that as the same thing. So your own spirit, you come in with this light, and these controllers want every piece, as much pieces of that light as they can get for themselves, because they cannot produce it or create it on their own. They are not of it. They do not have it. That's why they want yours. And even those that have that light, they deny their light so much that it dims so low, and then they become easily hijacked by these other, matrix controllers, to where now they want a piece of your light pie, or the whole damn thing, maybe. Right? So let's just see, thinking of, I wished I had like a whole presentation where I could show you pictures, and like, I'm not that advanced on here yet, but like maybe someday. But let's just think, celebrities are a really great example, just because most people know who they are. And if you don't know who a celebrity is, you can easily go Google and find information about, what it is they do, what they look like, all the things. So celebrity examples are a pretty good example. So very interesting. I just have a few, because you can go find your own all day long, I'm sure. But the three that kind of stood out the most to me, one, so Aaliyah. If you remember, the rapper singer Aaliyah in the late 90s, early 2000s was amazing. She just had this light with her eyes, with her energy, just very, you couldn't take your eyes away from her. And as someone who was a little younger than her, I want to say, or around the same age, I can't remember how old she was when she did pass away. I want to say in 2011, or sorry, 2001, maybe 2002, somewhere around 9/11. I know, because I was living in the same apartment when she passed away as what happened during 9/11. But Aaliyah was very good friends with Beyonce. Well, after Aaliyah was maybe the S word, SACRIF, you know what I'm trying to spell out, right? I don't wordy in hot water with not having access to my chat over here, so we're gonna be playing it cool here. So funny and weird, or maybe not coincidental, maybe, that Beyonce was part of Destiny's Child. Very interesting choice of words. But after that, she was no longer in Destiny's Child. Aaliyah passes away, and then Queen Bee is like, and if you are a fan of any of these people, I'm not trying to knock you or, your choices of anything. I'm just using these very energetically, easily discernible examples. At least for me, it's very clear. Like I had a Destiny's Child CD, and I love Destiny's Child, but once Beyonce kind of went off on her own, I just got the ick. I don't know what it was. It just, the energy completely shifted, and I just saw split personality kind of thing. And again, I don't even know that she was consciously aware this was going on. This was very energetic, very puppets pulling strings kind of thing. Another example was a up-and-coming singer, just amazing girl named Lena Morgana, I think was her name. She was really good friends with Lady Gaga. Well, right after Lena passes away, she fell off way up, stories up. I want to say it was a hotel. She fell off and passed away in that regard. And right after that, Lady Gaga's star just started rising. And there's, some very controversial, just looking into the eyes of the window to the soul. So that's all I'll say. Looking in, it's an interesting take when you look into Lady Gaga. Don't get me wrong. I like some of her songs, just like I like some of Beyonce's songs. I get it. There's this pull that we maybe can feel certain people's light, or lack thereof, then they take someone else's light, and then all sorts of crazy things. And then I'm kind of under attack with this kind of cold trying to take root in my energy as well. I've been detoxing since May and have really cleaned up my immune system. This is not an organic cleanse this time of year. I've done a lot of that work. This is not that. Attacks. And I can feel the energetic resonant difference between my body just detoxing and cleansing itself and something that's being put upon me. And that's what this is. It's trying to take root. Okay. Another example, Paris Hilton. She, in the earlier to mid 2000s, she was just, famous for doing nothing kind of energy. And then Kim Kardashian was her friend, and closet organizer, I think, was her official title. That's how I don't know if that's how they met, but that's kind of what Kim, it never came out to say that Kim was her personal assistant or anything, but Where Paris was, Kim was always right next to. And the same with Aaliyah and Beyonce. Wherever Aaliyah went, there was Beyonce. And notice, though, when Kim K's star started to really rise, Paris, she just, not that she fell off the radar or the grid, but like things just, you could really see her star starting to shine. She even had a song called Stars Are Blind, if I remember correctly, that was like a decently big hit. Paris did. And then after that, though, Kim K walking around with her, dressing just like her, acting just like her, talking just like her. And then all of a sudden, even though Kim did shift and morph and has done many shifting and morphing since, it's that light, it's that destiny, it's that spark that she has kind of taken and run with. Again, may not have been her conscious choice, but it's something that's happening here. And I just have seen 2 ads since I started this live stream, maybe more, at least 2 that came to my awareness. That, again, I did not sign up for ads. I said no ads, and they're putting ads, and I apologize for that, you guys. I really do. I wished I could literally just shut it off and say no more. So one more celebrity example is Drake. There's too many examples to name with him, so I will just say the MO he operates under. And I've never, I can't name you one Drake song, except when Pete Davidson did the SNL song called This Is a Drake Song, where he's like, I miss my ex, this is a Drake song. If you haven't heard it, it's kind of cute, kind of funny, kind of catchy. But anyway, just making fun of Drake, singing about his exes all the time. Well, anyway, Drake, he will kind of groom, I guess, for lack of a better word, these up-and-coming rappers or artists. And then, I don't know if he has his own label or what, but energetically of seeing him kind of transfer their light, their shine, their something special into him. And then after he has that association with them, yeah, maybe they still kind of have their own fan base or whatever, but they just kind of don't rise any further, really. They just kind of stay or kind of go by the wayside a little bit, and Drake just kind of stays even keel, maybe a little up, a little down, a little up, a little down, but these others just kind of fall off. And you can look into that. If you are someone who's a Drake fan, maybe you've seen that and just haven't put those pieces together. I'm not a Drake fan. Again, couldn't tell you anything. Just the eyes are what's going to do it for me. I'm out. Like, I can't even look at a picture of him. It creeps me out so bad. It's the eyes. The eyes are like, I can't even put it into words. I don't know what it is with him, but I can't look at his eyes. It just creeps me out. But funny, he even has a song called Destiny. I think that's with Kanye West, if I'm not mistaken. And I actually had to look that up, because I was actually looking up something about Destiny's Child, and then Drake with the song Destiny featuring Kanye West pulled up on the scene. And I was like, oh, isn't that interesting? When I was doing a bit of research for this. So I was like, okay. So one of my biggest red flags with knowing something's off, because we're going to now get into the portion where signs. I missed the celebrities portion, but I will go back and timestamp that later. But signs, we're at 2748-ish. Of course, I will fix these if that's not reflected in the actual playback. So signs that you may be experiencing destiny theft for yourself. And I'm going to go back at the end and catch up on your comments, so we're not getting sidetracked on this webinar, because you know me, I'll read a comment and then 4 minutes later I'm off on this tangent trying to get back. Maybe it's a good thing my comments aren't right here for me to focus. They're kind of off. I gotta be doing my due diligence to get to the comments today. Maybe that's a good thing. We're gonna take that as a positive for today's little webinar here. So signs that you may be experiencing destiny theft or karmatic transference. And this was my biggest sign, is failure after failure, constant failures. When you're doing your due diligence, you're doing your research, you're tuning in intuitively, and you feel this is your path, and you know you're meant to spread this message or talk about this thing or have this job or be in this relationship, whatever it is, but you're meeting roadblock. And there's a difference between, what's the word? Resistance is God's protection or something like that. Where one door closes, another opens. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about when you feel it in your soul. Hi, Mom. I just saw your comment. Hi, I love you. You feel it in your soul. This is my path. And I'm getting chills just as I say this, you guys. So many of you that are watching, you know what your path is. Like you know. It is you. You are it. You know what you're here to do. And many of you have known since you were young. Maybe not the exact thing, but just You've known from a very young age you were here to shine your light or to make the world a better place or to show up in a big way. Even if you didn't know how that was going to play out. And I got chills again, you guys. So many of you might be, put a comment in, yes, I feel my light. I feel my light. I feel my light. If you are on board with that. And you're here to do something greater than just, go to work, pay your bills, go to the bathroom, and then eventually die after a very long decline. No, that's not why we're here. None of us. That's not why any of us that you're watching right now and you're hearing my words. That's not why you're here. Some people, maybe that's why they're here. Or I would even argue many of those people aren't even here for that, but they've lost their own light. They've had their own destiny stolen and they don't know that's even a thing, or they're just so dimmed in their own light that they don't know the light was even there, and that's not their fault either. But once you start to see these things are happening in your life, it's maybe not your fault, yes, but it is your responsibility to get your light back or to get that light shining bright. Or, we're going to get into the tips section soon, but let's just go back to the signs. So some of those signs, biggest failure after failure after failure. Another sign is you're doing the most to stay on track with your health, your relationships, your career, your personal development, whatever it is. Insert thing here, insert in this blank. You're doing the most to do or accomplish whatever it is to stay on track with this thing, but yet nothing ever changes, or it never goes right, or you may be affected because it's just not happening. And then you either slowly give up or very quickly give up. That's a pretty big sign. But yeah, like I said, if you came here, you feel you came here for a greater purpose than to work, pay bills, etc. You have many of you have had a target on your back since even before you incarnated. So pre-incarnation, you already had this beacon of light that was shining from the rooftops, that you coming in, you were already a target through no fault of your own, just because you have this light. So don't let your light be, I'm just hearing, don't let your light be your downfall. It's not that, so many of us have been targeted since birth. So don't feel like you dropped the ball or it's your fault or any kind of guilt or shame associated. No, not at all. You should have no guilt or shame associated with the fact that someone else saw your purity and wanted that for themselves for whatever nefarious or beneficial reason. It wasn't theirs to begin with. It was yours and they took it. But you're going to take it back. We're going to get into that. So you came here for a greater purpose. Another sign that you have been, destiny swapped or karmatically transferred is you're craving low vibe processed foods, or foods with no life, or consuming things that have no life or no purpose, no spirit behind them. A lot of trashy TV, guilty pleasure stuff. A lot of things that have drama associated with them, just low vibe foods or just garbage. Like literally most of what they sell in the grocery store is absolute garbage. Like there's almost no nutritional value, and any little nutritional value you do get, it's inundated and just consumed in chemicals, and toxins. So even the things that are deemed food are not the food that our ancestors were eating, because they've been so modified in a genetic way, trying to speak in code and still get the words out, to where they don't even resemble what they're supposed to. Like one very clear-cut example in my mind is when I was little, I remember bananas having seeds in them, like in the middle, like little black specks. And I'm sure if you go somewhere where it's more literal organic heirloom seeds, you can get bananas that way. But all bananas you get in the store that I find around where I'm at, there's no seeds in the bananas anymore. Well, think of it this way. Nature does not produce something that cannot reproduce itself. That's a copy of a copy. Like that's a copy of a copy of a copy. In some instances, it's not even a copy of an original. It's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of an original. It's crazy. Yeah, see, and it's not like something that's like on your awareness, but it just kind of hit me about 3 or 4 years ago. I'm eating a banana and I'm looking at it. I'm like, didn't they used to have seeds in them? Like little brown or black kind of specks? I mean, they weren't like a big watermelon seed, but that's another story. Seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, and they're sweeter than ever. That's not natural. That's not normal. That's not good. But yes, we're craving things that don't have that original resonance. But why do you think, this is just an example coming to my mind right now, it's not in my notes, but why do you think that they're on this mission, especially in like homeowners associations and stuff, to have just pristine green lawns? Grass is not something that our bodies can digest and consume properly. I mean, we can digest it and stuff, but it's really difficult. Grass, cows can eat grass all day long because they have like 4 chambers of their stomach or 4 stomachs or something to be able to process all that fiber. We're not built for that, but yet they want us to make our whole property just grass. Why? I've asked this for so long. I'm like, it looks okay, but like, I'd rather see some wildflowers over here, some this over there, and this, like, variety. Let's variety it up. Like, my husband's like, I need to figure out how to eliminate the moss and the clover in our yard. I'm like, but why? It makes it look cool. I love it. I love my clover patch and my little mushroom ring it's right under my weeping willow. And that's something my weeping willow at my mom's property would get, is these little mushroom rings, like little fairy rings. That's nature in action. That's nature doing what it does. It's thriving, it's living, it's creating. We're just so taken off to the side from that. But weeds. Why are weeds so demonized? I mean, the most demonized weed of all is the dandelion, and you can eat and utilize, and your body can process unless you have an allergy or something, every part of that dandelion was made for your anatomy and your DNA and your health and your medicine, right there. And they're everywhere. But you can't trust the dandelions everywhere because most of them have been sprayed with poisons. Why? I'll let you math that one out. I mean, okay. Yeah. And another sign, addictions to low vibe things. Case in point, my addiction to just coming back for more and more and more with my friends who were doing drugs. Oh, I said it, oops. The D word, doing the D word. Where again, me, myself, have never even done anything at all except my oral surgery, wisdom teeth extraction. I think it was some sort of painkiller. And I took one and I'm like, I don't like the way this makes me feel. So I'm out. So you're going to be drawn or attracted to low vibe things, even if you don't find the addiction in those things. Like, I didn't find the addiction in the addictions themselves, but I found the addiction in wanting to hang out with these people because they themselves, again, through maybe no fault of their own, because they're maybe hijacked because they're lowering their own vibration by choice or otherwise. They want my light, so they're going to energy vampire me and keep calling me back, almost like a moth to a flame. Like I was drawn to their low vibe energy the way they were drawn to my high vibe energy. But addictions themselves, addictions to PRON, but move the O and the R around. Addictions to food, addictions to, gossip, addictions to having to know all the things. I mean, that's one of my big things is I want to know all the things all the time, everywhere. Like, I want to know. I'm so curious. And I see a headline and I'm like, don't get into this rabbit hole, Amanda. That's just, you're being baited away from your path, but yet I'll click on it. So I have to almost like talk myself, like that's my toxic trait, is I have to know. I have to know. You don't have to know everything, me included. We don't have to know everything. So you got to ask yourself, if you finding out the answer to this thing is going to improve your life, then go down that rabbit hole. But if it's not going to improve your life, or if it's going to make you angry, or you're going to feel even more powerless, do yourself a favor and don't go down that rabbit hole. All right, so we covered that topic. Another sign that you are having destiny swapping, destiny theft, karmatic transference is you're confused about your life path, confused about your purpose, confused about your direction in life. Simple. Point blank, period. I don't know that I need to elaborate on that. Another sign that you have this going on, this destiny swapping, are closed doors that should be very easily open to you. Something simple that you have all the qualifications for this job and you've heard you're the only applicant, yet you're not getting the job. And it's not because they're just putting up a false, listing for a job, like a lot of these places out here right now, just so they can harvest your information. Don't fall for it. Use your intuition. When you're clearly qualified and you've done your due diligence, or this is something you've done in the past and you have all the skills and the abilities, but you return to do this thing and it's just, you're being told no, 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 no over and over. And again, this is where your intuition is really, and your discernment are really going to come into play, because sometimes a closed door is protection. It's God's protection, or your own spirit's protection. Like, don't go this way. Just don't do it. Don't do it. But then other times, if it is your destiny and it's been swapped and that door's not opening, you got to use your discernment, your intuition. Especially if you're getting angry that these doors aren't opening and you know they should be. You know you got this in the bag and it's just not happening. That's a clear sign. Doors that are closed that should be open. Another sign that you've had destiny swapping is you're tired all the time with no cause. I mean, there's being tired with a cause. Obviously, you didn't get enough sleep that night. You've been ill, whatever. Or just having this lethargy about life. Like, just even getting up or thinking of your to-do list just makes you want to go back to bed. That's not good. That's not natural. That's not being in the flow of the universe and flow of your own destiny at all. Us, whatever you want to label yourself as, empath, light worker, earth angel, whatever you want to slap your label on, that's fine. We're not meant to go through life feeling lethargic or like we're dragging our mud through, or our feet through mud. And that's kind of weird side tangent. When you guys dream about running, like you're playing a sport or you're running from bad guys, do you ever dream that you can't run, or it's like going through quicksand, or you're like dragging your feet, or you're giving it the most but you're just not going anywhere? Because almost every single dream where I'm trying to play basketball or do this or that, I can't run very far, or it's like things aren't working. And then I was trying to Google, this was a while back, I was trying to Google, well, why is that? And someone, all the responses were, oh, because your body in REM sleep, your body will like paralyze yourself. Well, then why can't I hug somebody? Why can't I, do all these other actions? It's just the running that's not happening. Or maybe some other key or choice types of actions that you can't do. It doesn't work. It's like a slow-mo. Yes, Marlene, absolutely. I'm not the only one. Well, I got some insight on that specific thing, which we won't get into today because that's side tangent. But all these side tangents, I've got like a list of like little webinars and talking points that I want to start doing, and I'm so excited. I already have, I don't know if we're gonna do it Monday or Wednesday or what, but I already have another little webinar planned out. I'm so excited. But anyway, tired all the time, lethargic. We're going to get also into dreams as one of the tips here. While we're there, let's just do it. Having recurring dreams. And you guys know me, I talk about my dreams pretty regularly. Reoccurring dreams specifically having to do with your childhood home, which, yes, a lot. Even if that childhood home looks different than your actual childhood home, it's just the essence. Like you understand or realize this is your childhood home. Even if it looks different, feels different, is different in some way, you're understanding. Or you're having dreams about exes, or old people from work, old bosses, people from the past in all types of regards. And yes, there are certain times when you are working through things to be able to level yourself up. But when these things are recurring, it's usually a sign that there's some destiny theft going on here, because you can't overcome it, because you don't have all the information, all the tools to finally overcome this situation. Another thing is, speaking of dreams, are like sex dreams where, usually you're not able to give consent because you're dreaming, right? Even if these are with your partner, feel into the energy of what's going on in the dreams. Who initiated it? What's going on? Who is it with? Even if it's with a celebrity, just know that, they have powers. A lot of these celebrities have powers working through them, through their fan base, to harvest and harness energy. So that's why, even in the Bible, it says, don't worship these idols, because you are giving them, you're literally saying you're better than me, putting you on a pedestal. Take my money, take my energy, take my whatever. It's okay to admire and respect and vibe with music, but do not become obsessed, if you can help it. A lot of these programs, just look into anything Hollywood. There's so much black magic going on there. But especially if you know these people, or they're like in the public eye, like a celebrity or something. Also eating in dreams. Who's giving you this food? Because you're literally consuming something. You're signing a contract in your dream state. You're eating. Who is giving you the food? What is the food? Do your investigation, research. You're using your own intuition just to see what's going on. But that's another sign that there's destiny theft afoot in your life playing out. Another sign, a job opportunity or something else that was promised falls through. That's very much like what we were talking about with the doors being closed and all of that. Something that you should easily or have been promised, and you know it's just a given that it's yours, and then you're denied it. Red flag that there's some destiny theft going on. You suddenly lose interest in something that really lit you up. But there's nuance here, because as someone with ADHD, I will go off on this rabbit hole and be so obsessed with it for a while, and then something else catches my fancy. So like, use nuance, use discretion, use your intuition here. But case in point, starting in 2021, when this big destiny swap happened with me, this person literally told me to delete my manuscript. It wasn't my path. Well, why do you think that was? Because she was actively stealing my path. So it could be her path. Good thing. I mean, my finger was hovering over. Like, I was that compelled because of the effect she had on me, the hold she had on me. But I didn't do it. My spirit came through last minute. It was like, what the F are you doing? I mean, my spirit doesn't talk to me like that, but energetically speaking, I'm like, no. Even if I've completely lost the will to write this, I can't do that. That there's spirit within these words. I can't do that. And I've had ups and downs with my writing routine ever since that. And I'm going to be doing a big journey to reclaim anything standing in the way of me just being consistent with my writing. Because every time, I feel into what this series that I'm writing and what it is I'm trying to accomplish with these characters and what these characters have even taught me. And it touches my spirit. It lights me on fire. And I'm just so excited to get it out there. But then when I sit down or even think about sitting down to do it, I'm lethargic. Okay. So this is how. So if there's something you're put on this earth to do, like I know I'm put here to get my words, my truth, my message into writing in various ways. This is kind of one of them, and I was stopped, but I kept pushing through. I'm like, no, this is happening. But my writing, my books, my series, it's a whole thing. So let's see, where are we on the list? Yeah, suddenly lose interest in something that once lit you up. And again, nuance, because ADHD or, having a major, but here's the thing. You can be well on your way. This is reminding me, you can be well on your way with this project, this passion, this whatever it is, this work that you're doing in this realm. And then someone close to you passes away, or someone close to you is ill, or you yourself become ill. Not by mistake, not by coincidence. There you go. Usually, if you're on the precipice of something, you're being held back, you're being suppressed. Again, use your intuition at each turn. Because sometimes you're being rerouted and it's just not divine time, but other times, destiny theft is afoot. All right. Another sign. This is kind of in tandem with that thing that once lit you up and then now you're just off of it, is you're excited to work on yourself or your goals, and then the wind goes out of your sails. Very much like what we just said, but I figured it's worded just slightly different enough. Like, this happens to me a lot when I'm out and about. Like, I'm hanging out with a friend and I'm feeling really inspired, or I'm at the grocery store getting stuff, and then I'm thinking about, okay, when I get home, I really need to clean my toilet, and I need to do this other thing, and I need to do this, and then I get home and I put the groceries away, and I'm just like, I'm not doing any of that. Like, I just automatically, but that's a good sign too that you need to cleanse your home and your space. And when I start to do that, like, you got to be aware. You just got to do you got to keep up with these feelings and notice the trends, notice the patterns. Because no one's going to do this work for us. We got to do it ourselves. And if you're living with people who aren't really on a spiritual path, it makes your job even harder. So you're going to have to work even harder. And I know no one wants to hear that, but that's just what we're going to have to do. Okay. So another sign that you're being destiny swapped is you're off your spiritual path. You have no spiritual routine. Maybe your crystals once really excited you and you loved working with them, or you were really into meditation for a while and then you just completely fell off. This is a sign that you're being destiny swapped because something took you off that path that was not you. Another sign is you're feeling like nothing will ever change or get better. You're just in this defeatist attitude, victimhood, victim mode. We've all been there. Raise your hand if you've been there. I've been there many a time. It's about recognizing when you're feeling that way and saying, no, now what am I going to do about it? You just have to really feel and step into your power and get another ad. I apologize, you guys. Ugh, I can't even skip it. It's a sponsored ad. I did not sponsor you. You're on my live stream. Get off. I'm sorry, you guys, if you got pulled away by an ad. Okay, another sign that you've been destiny swapped. People have copied you in the past or are copying you now. Will copy you in the future. Yes, they say that copying is the most sincere form of flattery, but where does it end? Because if someone is that envious of you at times, you know, and that's the thing, when you meet like-minded people and you're all into the same thing, that's different. Again, there's nuance here. As Manifestel says, don't come for me, no nuance Nellies. And I know we have a Nelly that comes here, but I'm not calling Nelly out. She's like, don't come for me, and you sit in front, no nuance Nellies. She's so funny. Yeah. So know when it's flattery and know when it's actually destiny swapping or destiny theft. Another sign is you're receiving backhanded compliments. That one kind of goes without saying. You know, people being passive aggressive about your glow up or you showing up, you being in your power. Some people can't handle that. It says more about them than it does about you, but it can let you know that they're triggered or at the very least possibly jealous of what you have going on. Okay, another sign is a random or steep decline in your relationships, finances, social standing, business ventures, health, etc., etc., etc. Insert here. Fill in the blank here. That comes out of nowhere. That has nothing to do with anything that you've recently done. Let's see. Let's put this out there. I think we kind of touched on this, but you can be destiny swapped by friends, coworkers, family members, associates, or even people you've never met. Energy vampires abound all over the place. But it's usually the closer they are, the more access they do have to your energy. That's just kind of how it works. But a lot of, like I was saying earlier with like celebrities and fan bases, again, it's not maybe even these celebrities that have set this up and they're like, whoa, up on their like villain tower. No, it's usually these entities that work through the celebrities that then kind of like the pyramid scheme, the celebrities at the top and all the fans are holding them up. And then they'll siphon the life force and the energy of all the fandom. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we've depressed ourselves with all the signs, and many of us are probably raising our hands from time to time at this list, like, oh yeah, that's happened to me. Oh yeah, I felt like that before. Okay, so what are we going to do about it? Tips. What are we going to do about it? 50-ish. Okay, and I'll fix that. So how, and this is by no means an exhaustive list. This was just me sitting down before the live stream about an hour before we started and just kind of knocking things out. So spiritual routines and protections. Keep your spiritual hygiene up. Keep your spiritual hygiene up. Keep your spiritual routines intact. If not more, they are more important than your actual physical reality routines. If you missed the big deep dive we did on the eclipse energies, we really did go in on a lot of kind of these tip energies are kind of transferable from what we talked about on Wednesday's live stream. So if you missed that, check it out. It would have been dated, what day are we now? October 3rd, 4th? It would have been dated October 2nd, 2024 if you're watching this later in the future. Yes, because a lot of that information and tips apply here as well. So, and I talked about in that live stream, and I'll just reiterate it here. Your what we see or sense in what we consider the physical reality is about 0.5 to about 5% of what actually exists. But yet for most people, it's 100% of their focus. Just put that in perspective. We're focused on paying our bills, eating, connecting with friends. Yes, these things are all very important. But what's most important of all is keeping our spiritual hygiene up, keeping ourselves aligned to our own spirit so we aren't stuck here and put in misery for yet another lifetime. Everybody's life purpose that's watching this, if you want, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know your life purpose, click off now. If you want to know it, keep listening. It's to get the heck out of here. It really is. It's to get out of the matrix. It's to connect to your spirit and allow your spirit to guide you out of here. Because this is not your home. This is not any of our home. This is a false system, a false grid. It's a copy of a copy of a copy of an original. We are the originals. We need to not be invested in this copy behavior. It's hard because it feels like all there is. It feels like our reality. And yes, it is our reality in some term, but yet at the same time, the physical reality is the Maya. It is the illusion. All right. What else? What else do we need to know? Tips. Marking them off as we go. Again, some of this was covered on that other live stream, but I'm just going to reiterate it here. Fasting. If you don't know what that is, look up intermittent fasting. It is how our bodies are designed to operate. Don't think you're, getting an ED, if you know what that is, I don't want to say it because it can be triggering the algorithm. Our bodies are designed to go through times of feast and times of famine. And because we are so blessed to have just feast after feast after feast available, let's just be honest, the feast that's usually available is not quality, it's quantity. But if you can, when you are feasting, find quality things to eat, find quality to consume real foods as close to the heirloom seed variety as possible. Or if you're consuming, meat and all that, making sure it's not pumped up with hormones and antibiotics and all the chemicals. And 100% of pork at this point in the U.S. now has the mRNA thing in it. So if you don't want to get in on that, but they're coming for all the other meat as well. It's a slow rollout. They can't just do all these things overnight because they need our consent, and they get our consent in many ways. They have to tell us what they're doing before they do it. But if we pay with our dollar, that's the biggest way most of us are voting. Let's just put that out there. The biggest way most of us are voting is with our time, our attention, and our dollar. So don't give your money and give consent to poison yourself if you can help it. And if that's all you can afford, because I know these real foods out here being expensive right now, if that's all you can afford, bless your food, set intentions over your food, and clear your food of anything that's going to attach or cause harm. Because we also have that power and ability. Okay, so fasting, getting into that, eating healthy, and having just a healthy lifestyle in general. We're not meant to be sitting around. Our ancestors, think not even the last, 5, 10 generations, but even farther back, they were constantly on the move. They had to even have a drink of water, they had to walk a distance to go find a water source. They had to, chop wood and stack wood and prepare for the winter. Like, they were busy people. Gyms didn't exist back then because their lifestyle was the gym. So be more active as you can get. I'm not asking you to go from couch to 5K like some of these programs out here, but just start somewhere. If you're living a very sedentary lifestyle, just take a walk around your block. And if that's too much, take a walk down your hallway and back. Start where you're at and just start to move forward and forward and forward. Because as we keep going and the years tick by, we want to make sure we're giving our bodies, because we're under attack out here. We're literally fighting for our lives at all times. At every turn, we're fighting for our lives. Not just in destiny swaps, but like at every turn out here. The food, the water, the air, just the fact that we live in this abundant reality, but there's such scarcity, like make it make sense, you guys. It doesn't. But it's our responsibility. And once you have that awareness, you can't go back to ignorance anymore, because it's your responsibility. It may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. And I hope I'm not like I'm not meaning to be mean or try to call anyone out, but we're literally in a fight for our lives out here. And if you're not, making the most of your life, someone else is going to do it for you, but for themselves. They're going to take your energy and make the most of it for themselves. So, another tip, setting clear intentions and holding yourself accountable. One of the biggest ways I let myself down all the time is, when I get home, like I said earlier in the example, when I get home, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then I get home, I put the groceries away, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing that anymore. Okay, again, not my fault possibly, but it is my responsibility to follow through on what I said I was going to do to myself. And that's one of the biggest ways most people let someone down, is they let themselves down. And then you learn to not be able to even trust yourself. So if you can hold yourselves accountable and show up, I got chills. Okay, guys, this is a game changer right here. You don't have to go big or go home here. Little, easily implementable steps. So maybe you just put one thing on your to-do list today that that you're going to follow through on, not because it needs done, not because the neighbor told you to do it, or your husband or your friends or your kids or whoever, but because you're holding yourself accountable. And then when you accomplish that task and tick it off at the end of the day, you were accountable to yourself. That's how you can start to gain trust in yourself. And that actually is a step toward getting in tune with your intuition, is being able to trust yourself on a physical, mental, and emotional level. And then the spiritual can really come out to play. So if you're finding you can't trust your intuition, it's most likely because you can't even trust your own damn self, meaning your physical, mental, and emotional states. So hold yourself accountable and set clear intentions. But that's part of destiny theft, is confusion about your life path, confusion about your next step, confusion about what to do. So start putting, even if it matters not to anyone else, but just to you, start holding yourself accountable. And it's, yeah, Amber, it's missing quite a lot. Absolutely. For many people out there. And yeah, absolutely. But that, you'll see this, like my husband will, work talk. He'll come home and he'll, so many people are out there looking to pass the buck. It's not even their own buck. It's not like they're giving out free money out here, but they're like looking to throw someone else under the bus at all costs. And that's something my husband like prides himself on, is when he's at fault, he will own that like the man he is. And I really admire that about him, because most people, even if it is their fault and they know it, they'll try to make excuses or throw that, well, if this so-and-so didn't do this, or in a timely manner, that guy didn't get back to me. Excuses. Excuses are just energy hijack points at this point. We're in go mode right now, you guys. So we can make excuses or we can make change. That's kind of where we're at. So taking accountability, even when you've effed up with someone else, is going to actually gain you respect with the person you messed up with. Even if they cut you out or whatever, if you made a really big mistake or whatever, by taking accountability with that person, or even just after the fact, if you can look back in places where you knew you were the bad guy, we've all been there, right? Just that thing you said, or, you promised something and you didn't follow through, big or small. You can own up to that with your own self, and that will give you some like spiritual clout with your own intuition. All right. We're at an hour in. Oh, I did not mean to go this long, but we're getting there. All right. So we're setting clear intentions. Now, also, take inventory of your personal development and your goals regularly. This is something that many of us, again, if we're not holding ourselves accountable, we're spinning our wheels. We don't know what direction we're going. Maybe we haven't been taking inventory of our life and our personal development, our goals regularly for a long time. And something that Sarah Cannon, she is and Heart Breathing, she has those two channels. She's here on YouTube. She's a writer, and she's amazing. But she's in the planner community. But she has this thing that she calls 6 months for life, and it's such a cool. And I don't know the ins and outs of how she does it, but I just kind of started doing my own kind of personal 6 months for life. And you don't even have to go 6 months for life, because it's basically taking the next 6 months, maybe making one priority or up to 3, no more than 3, because the more priorities we have, the least priority we give to any of them. You know what I'm saying? So taking like my one, I took one. I'm like, I want to get my health and my lifestyle in a healthy manner. And that looks like lots of different things. So yeah, it's like one goal that has like 40, 50 other goals kind of contained within it, because, there's the eating right, there's fasting, there's getting some movement in, doing some weight training, which I'm not there yet, but I'm moving. I got 20,000 steps yesterday. I'm only here today. Yes, I'm that guy that wears the little step counter because I don't want to carry my phone around and get that EMF. But that's another thing, is just protecting my energy through as much EMF protection as I can as well. So making a priority, if it's your health, if it's your eating, if it's whatever, I would actually start with your health and your eating, because your health is your biggest wealth here. It's the wealth they can't take away from you, even though they're trying constantly, unless you're paying with your time, your money, and your attention. What are you consuming? Are you watching their toxic news? I mean, yes, sometimes we kind of have to dip in and be aware of what's going on, so we can set our clear intentions of what we're not wanting to manifest in our lives, obviously. So again, our intuition is really going to be our compass here. But yes, we need to be checking in and taking inventory of our personal goals and development regularly. Now, regularly can be once a week, it can be once a day, it can be once a month, whatever regularly means to you. Another tip to help prevent or bring back your destiny from this is to move in silence Move in silence. Don't, every time you get this whim to change your life and then you're telling it to this person, that, addressing it on Facebook. I made the same mistake where I announced that I'm writing a book series on Facebook and all the feedback was great and everything. But then after that, I kind of hit this kind of weird energy where I didn't want to even, like, the pressure was too high now because everybody knew about it. Live and learn, people. So move in silence. Let the actions you're taking and the glow up or the development that you're accruing speak for itself. Just let it speak for itself. You don't have to, of course, to your nearest and dearest, of course you're talking to them about what you're doing. Nuance. There's nuance here. But that coworker you used to work with and that person from high school that you don't really talk to, but you see them on Facebook, and that guy lives down the street, they don't need to know like your inner workings. They don't need to know it, or what your plans are. They don't need to know. It's on a need to know basis. All right, what else? Trust your intuition if something feels off. That's a tip. That is a vibe right there. Trust your intuition if something feels off. If something feels too good to be true, the package looks great, but the energy's saying something different, whether this is an opportunity, a person, a project, a community, whatever. Trust your intuition. And one of the best ways, those of you you keep talking about intuition, Amanda, well, how? Of course, set that accountability to start trusting your person, yourself, in a personal way, but also cleaning out your gut. Gut instinct. It's not called that for nothing. Clean your microbiome. If you can, of course, work your way up to it. Be careful. Don't be dangerous about your fasting, but a 24-hour fast can completely reset your gut. That's all it takes. You can do further work, absolutely, by doing like a 36-hour fast or a 72-hour fast. If you're fasting, I always say, look to Dr. Mindy Pelz, P-E-L-Z. She's here on YouTube. She also has the book Fast Like a Girl and the Menopause Reset, and a new book coming out called Eat Like a Girl. Not sponsored, just works for me. So I'm giving you the tips, all the tips for fasting and wanting to be on a fasting lifestyle, to fast for your hormones. Women can't be out here just fasting randomly like a man can. We have to fast to our hormones. Even if you're in menopause, your body's still producing 40% of the hormones you've ever produced. It's still going. It's just not being produced by your uterus and your ovaries. I think it's your adrenal glands and something else producing your hormones. You're still producing hormones and you still need hormonal support. But if you've been through menopause, you can look up Dr. Mindy Pelz, P-E-L-Z, and look up menopause reset, or fasting after menopause, or even perimenopause, because things can start going off the rails for women during perimenopause. It's kind of the, as they call it, the redheaded stepchild, or, all the skeleton in the closet, or the elephant in the room no one wants to talk about. Perimenopause usually happens anywhere from age 35 to whenever menopause happens. It can start even earlier these days, because these things are starting even earlier and earlier and earlier, just the way that a lot of little girls are starting to get their menstrual cycle earlier and earlier and earlier than ever before. But when you can get your hormones in balance, or as in balance as one can in this realm, you've already done yourself a great service. So that, for most of you out there that are listening, getting your gut health in order, your gut microbiome in a good, healthy state by eating real foods and dipping into your fat burner system. Well, that's your fasting. Sugar burners you're eating, fat burners you're fasting. We're built, our bodies. It's just in the last maybe 200, maybe even less years that we've just been eating fast, or feast. No famine coming in. I mean, yes, some people in some parts of the world, obviously, there's nuance here. There's nuance. But you know what I'm saying? It's only these last 200 or so years that most people have had everything they could ever want, food-wise, and then some. So tap into the way your body is naturally designed and get in that intermittent fasted lifestyle, and then your intuition will come online like never before. All right. These are tips. So I can give you the information, but I can't make you follow through. That's on you. Responsibility. All right. Another tip is, Oh, I guess we've kind of reached the end of the tips. This is kind of summing up. So you're going to have to work hard to get your destiny back. You're going to have to work hard. Maybe harder than you ever worked before, but it is so worth it. And there are simple things you can do by using your intuition, rituals. I mean, I know people get kind of scared or kind of a little uncomfortable when we mention the word ritual, but think of it this way. If you have a Monday morning meeting at work, that's a ritual. If you take the same way to work every morning, that's a ritual. If you have your morning coffee and then you check your email and then you do this thing kind of in a row, that's a ritual. We don't have to get witchy woo-woo and all that with it. But setting up rituals where you are tuning into your spirit, asking your spirit, your intuition for guidance, and then following through on the guidance, being accountable to yourself, fueling your physical vessel, which is the only one you're going to get in this lifetime anyway. I know they're looking at ways to like implant you into, upload you to the metaverse, but I'm not doing that. We got to take better care of what we've been given. Because this house that we have, this physical vessel, we can't just say, I'm done here, let me move out. I mean, there are ways people do that, but we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No, we're aware. We're going to be living in our energy. We're going to be cleaning up our energy. That's what we're going to be doing to get our destiny back. And I'm personally working on things right now. Again, I'm moving in silence on this, but I'm just letting you know, I'm working on things that can hopefully be of service in anyone needing help in this area eventually. And I don't have any time frame or time limit on it or whatever. But just when I know and have it ready, you'll know. Let's just put it that way. Because I'm also working on cleaning up my own, got to start with the diet and the exercise and the, really tuning in and just getting myself in, because if you haven't been told yet, we're at war. We're at spiritual war. We've been at spiritual war for millennia, but we're kind of at a tipping point here. So if you want to do the work and show up for yourself, for your spirit, I'm going to give you a gold star right now because most people have completely left the building, checked out, don't even know that's a thing that they can do. Their power is so outside of themselves, they don't even know that they can step into it. But I think because you're here and you're who you are, there's something about you. And I don't like to be, I'm special. Like, no. But yet, yes, there's something special about you. And that's why these forces are working so hard to get at you from every single angle they can. But you're still shining. You're still showing up. You're still doing the most that you can. Again, your best from day to day is going to look different. Look into the 4 agreements. Always some book I'm going to recommend, the 4 agreements. Because your best from day to day, from hour to hour, month to month, year to year, decade to decade is going to look different. But doing your best in every moment, your best when you have a cold and you're laid up in bed is going to be different than your best after you just won this big award and you're just on this big oxytocin and dopamine rush. So yeah, we're showing up and doing the best we can with what we have. If you're kind of unsure of what your destiny is, I'm just going to hit these points real quick. I don't even think we have any donations today, so it's not like we're, I guess, in a hurry to be anywhere or do anything. But I do want to do a free 1-card pull for everybody who's here. And then we're going to do our giveaway and our drawing. So don't go anywhere. And if you want to know anything, any personal question, go ahead and send a donation and we're going to get into that for you soon. So let's see. I'm trying to think what else we need to know. Oh yeah. So as you can see, I've been crossing things off as we go. An easy way to know what your destiny is in this life is to look into your birth chart. And if you can look into Hellenistic or Babylonian astrology to get this information, it's going to be the most accurate. But of course, if you're more of a tropical / Western astrology person or whatever, do what feels intuitively guided for you to tune in for this information. But look where your north node is in your chart. Of course, those born within about 18 months of you are going to have the same north node as you. So they're not quite generational, but they're like, people you kind of grew up with in that like 1 to 2 year age group, your own age, and like maybe up to about 18 months younger or older or somewhere along that trajectory, are going to have the same sign. Because, for the past, not quite 18 months, it'll be 18 months coming up around March of 2025, when the North Node switches signs. I think that's when it switches. I might be wrong. I'll have to look into that again. But it'll stay in each sign about 18 and a half months. So look into where that is in your chart, and also where the North Node is transiting. It's going. This is the thing about the North and South Node. In Vedic astrology, they are known as the demon that was cut in half. The head was removed. The head is the North Node or Rahu, and the tail of the dragon or the serpent or the whatever, the demon, is the South Node or K2. Well, in the Matrix, they demonize what's actually probably benefic or good, right? And what are the only two? And of course, Rahu and K2, or the North Node and South Node, node are not planets per se. They call them shadow planets, because what the North or South Node are calculations of your chart. So it's the moons, they're the nodes of the moon, the North Node of the moon, the South Node of the moon. We all know how I feel about the moon. But they're the nodes of the moon. So that's where the moon's orbit will cross the elliptical plane. So for the North Node, it's, the upper part, and the South Node is the lower part of the ecliptical plane of the moon, where it meets the ecliptical plane. And then, so it's a calculation point. And these are the only two energies, and they're always exactly opposite of each other. They're never closer than opposite. They're always exactly opposite in your chart. You will never see them closer or further away than that. Always exactly opposite. And they're the only planets that are always going retrograde. Literally, planets, shadow planets, calculations. They're going in the reverse of the forward motion of all the other planets. And yes, we say, oh, well, Jupiter's retrograde right now. Well, it will be in 5 days. Or Saturn's retrograde right now. Well, technically, they're not moving backwards. It's just from our, you and another car are going the same way, but you speed up. It appears that other car's moving backwards, but no, you're just moving faster. So Earth is moving faster, or appearing that these planets just kind of slow down themselves. They're not going backwards. They're just moving less fast than, the orbit. But these North and South Node are truly moving in backward rotation around the chart all the time. So to me, there's something about the fact that also North Node does represent the destiny, South Node represents the karma, or where you've been, what you already know, and why it's kind of uncomfortable to just stay in that energy. I think this is kind of our spirit showing up, like, hey, we're the ghost in the machine. We're the wrench in the matrix here. Something went wrong, as it says on my thing. This is where something went wrong with the matrix, where they have to allow the spirit in. And I think it resides in the South and North Node. Venus may also play a part. Also, your moon sign may play a part as far as your destiny, but that may be what the matrix has destined for you rather than your spirit. Your spirit may be more of the North Node of the moon and South Node of the moon, always moving opposite. And also there's a point that is the halfway point between your North Node and your moon. The point, and you can calculate this, or go to Google how to calculate. It's called Brigu Bindu. I think it's spelled like Brighu Bindu. Brigu Bindu. It's the halfway point between the North Node and the moon. Not the moon in the North Node, but the North Node. So find where that is in your chart, and then find wherever the moon is in your chart, and calculate from the North Node to the moon the halfway point between them. Well, for my personal chart, my North Node is about 3 degrees before my moon in the same house. So it's literally right between them. I just have to subtract a couple, like 2 degrees between them, or a degree and a half between them in my 9th house. My destiny in the 9th house, that's about publication, publishing something. Well, my destiny was swapped with me recently as 2021. And I've been having major issues trying to get my book published since. So I'm working on getting it back. Don't worry. We're going to make this thing happen. But yeah. Another thing I was going to say is that I forgot to say in the signs that you're being destiny swapped is, you're just doing the same cycle, or having the same fights with people, or arguments with people, or finding yourself in relationships with the same types of people. And there's never any progress. It's just the same crap, different day, Groundhog Day, over and over and over. And stagnation, just wherever you're feeling stagnant. If your whole life is stagnant, there's work to do here, because life, actual life force energy is always flowing. It's always moving. It's never stagnant. We are under spiritual warfare. That just lets us know. I mean, most of us are feeling, if not stagnant, at least stuck in one area of life or another. I mean, just take the whole financial system and the fact that the prices of everything have gone up so much that people like in my state, we are tied with number one right now, last I saw, with Maine. 70 to 71% is the amount that pricing of homes or home rents have jumped since 2020 to 2021. In 4 years, it's gone up 70 to 71%. People that grew up here, have lived here for, generations, are priced out. They're moving away because they literally cannot afford to live in Montana anymore. Because all these people that can afford to live here are moving in and pricing out. And also all these, and this is something that's really been grinding my gears lately. I know this has nothing to do with anything, but just the fact that we have to go above and beyond and bend over completely backwards to just try to be able to either pay rent or a mortgage these days is asinine in this abundant place. There are so many empty apartments and homes, even just in my area. I'm like, where are they going to get people to fill them? But they're so overpriced. No one's ever going to be able to afford to move into them anyway. It's just crazy. But what really grinds my gears and chaps my butt is the fact that all these big corporations can come in and buy out like whole trailer parks or whole apartment complexes or whole subdivisions. And then these big corporations are your landlord. I don't think it should be legal for corporations to own residential property anymore. Like, it's out of control. It's gross. It's so gross. Give the residential properties back to the people. Like, that's just my little soapbox for today. Because it's out of control. Out of control. Like, it makes me angry. And I'm sure that's by design. They want that. But like, I got chills. Everybody should have a right to be able to, not even be able to work to live. Like, we don't even have the right to do that anymore. The right to work, to get a paycheck, to then pay our rent or our mortgage. Like, a lot of people can't even afford to work to pay the mortgage that's there already. A lot of people can't. And it's monumentally unfair. Like, okay. How to get a Babylonian birth chart. So if you go to astroseek.com, let me try to run through this with you guys because I want you to be able to look. Okay, so astroseek.com. That's not their jingle. I just said that. That's not how you spell Axtro. A-S-X. No X. All my cards are like stacked pretty much right on my keyboard, so it's hard for me to type. Okay, is this it? This doesn't look right. Let me go to Google. I don't trust Google usually, but we're going to go there right now just to... Maybe I have a tab over here. Let me look. What's this one? Oh, it's horoscopes.astro-seek.com. So... So if you type horoscopes, astro, seek, all three words there, and click the first one there, it says astro-seek.com. And then go to free horoscopes is the first tab. I don't know how it is on the phone because I'm doing this on a computer, so bear with me. So go birth natal chart online calculator is the first drop down in the free horoscope menu there. Now down where it says birth chart astrology online calculator, enter your birth data. We're going to go, the example here is January 1st, 1970. We'll just leave it at that. We'll do 9:20 p.m. birth city, Los Angeles. Calculate the chart. So I think you first have to calculate. Wait, how do I? Because it didn't ask me the Ayanamsha. Okay, go back. Don't calculate the chart yet. If you did, just push the back button. Okay. Over on the side, is it the side? Oh, extended settings. Right below calculate your chart, there's a thing that says extended settings. We're going to click that to open that up. Okay, house system. This is where it gets important. For Babylonian astrology, you're going to find the, okay, so you can either do equal house or whole sign. I like whole sign just because it puts all of the one astrological sign is in that house rather than being ruled by Gemini and Cancer in one house. You're just ruled by one. It just makes things easier. And that's not going to affect knowing where your North Node is anyway. So just do whole sign or equal. You could do velo, I think is the other way that I used to do this. So whole sign, and then where it says down tropical, SID, or RA, and then the drop down, you're wanting to go to Ayanamsha and then find Fagan Bradley. It's the fourth one down under various sidereal Ayanamshas. So it says Ayanamsha-Fagan-Bradley. Click that. That right there, that Ayanamsha is going to get you to the degree of what the Babylonian astrology's alignment is. And you can just leave the orbs and aspects alone. And just click calculate chart above that now. And so for a person, okay, so for a person that was born January 1st, 1970 in Los Angeles, California, we're going to look for the little crescent moon symbol. And that person's moon would be at 20 degrees of, oh, interesting. Their moon would have been kind of caught up in this eclipse, I think. Yeah. This recent eclipse we had. So it'd be about 20 degrees in Hasta Nakshatra in the sign of Virgo. So if you're never looked at one of these charts before, it can be very confusing and daunting. Instead of looking at the chart itself, go over to the side where it says sidereal positions, find the moon, and it'll give you a little symbol of your moon, and then it'll say the degree. You might have to go to astrological symbols to decode if you don't know what that symbol is. But it'll give you the exact degree. And then the number behind it is the house that it's in. And then you can go over to the chart because they're numbered, but that's the astrological sign, not the house. And the house will start on the middle of the left-hand side is where house 1 begins, if you're looking where to read the chart from. But all we need for this example, we found the moon sign here. Now let's find the North Node. It's going to look like a pair of headphones or like a Lululemon symbol or logo. So it's going to look like an upside down U with two little things on each like this, almost like a little pair of headphones. And then the South Node looks exactly opposite. It's a U with like this. So the North Node in this person's chart would be 20 degrees of Aquarius. I'm going to say that Shatabisha Nakshatra, or it could be Purvabhadrapada. I don't remember where the cutoff nakshatra is for that, but you want to find your North Node's nakshatra, the pada of the nakshatra if you can find that, and of course the sign and the house that it's in, because these are all going to be important information about your destiny. And then of course look exactly opposite across the chart. You'll see your South Node. You look in the list, see the South Node, look up that symbol and see what house, what astrological sign, and all the things. And nakshatra, all very important. Also found on Lululemon yoga mats. There you go. All right. And then the Bhrigu Bindu, if you find your North Node, so if you get your chart, you can put your finger on the North Node and then the other finger on the moon, and you can kind of slowly, just without having to actually calculate it mathematically, you can just see that, okay, so they're exactly opposite of each other. Or not, no, that's the South Node. But on this chart, they are almost exactly opposite of each other. They're across from each other. So you want to just kind of start drawing up at the same rate of speed on each side. This is just kind of a cheater way to do it. Keep going until you meet your fingers and about that point. So for this, it's kind of on the cusp of the 9th house and 10th house. If I'm just kind of eyeballing it with my little finger thing, doing it this way. But if your North Node is behind the moon, because remember, you're going from the North Node to the moon. So find the North Node first and then the moon, and then you're going to split the distance. You're not going to go the other way from the moon to the North Node. You're going to go from the north node toward the moon, but the midpoint between those two. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm not confusing it. But if you're really confused on how to calculate Bhrigu Bindu, there may be somewhere online if you do Bhrigu Bindu calculator, or even just type in, I know KRS has a whole video, KRS Astrology here on YouTube has a whole video about Bhrigu Bindu and how to figure that out. And I know the newer versions of Parashara's Light astrology programs, I have the really old 7.0 version from like years and years and years and years ago. But I know some of the newer versions have that you can calculate that if you have that. Yeah, I have version 7. I don't even know what version they're on now. This is a very old version. I bought it in like 2016 at a discount because it was already then an old version. So it's now a very old version. Oh, it doesn't give any free calculator. Boo! Darn it. There's got to be somewhere. And I don't even try. I only use Google on this computer because it was right there. Normally I use Yandex. Yandex. Because you'll actually get some results when you Google things. You'll actually get a lot of results over on Yandex because Google has literally just cut like it used to say like billions and billions of results, and then you could keep going and going, page back. You can maybe go 20 pages back, but each page has like 8 results, and then it just stops. But yet it says it returned however many millions or billions of hits on your search criteria. That doesn't add up to me. It makes no sense. Okay, anyway, whatever. We're not going to go there. Another thing that, there's this perception that there's actually choice or variety, but there's not. It's been removed. Unless you know background ways to get to it, you may not find what you're looking for on, that's how you spell it. Yep. That's how you spell it. And I think you can even do the app on your phone so that you don't even have to deal with Google anymore. That's what I do. I'm sick of Google hiding all the information. Not to say all the information out there is correct or right, but let me be the judge of what I'm asking to look for and sift through it. Don't already like put your own filters on it, Google. I didn't ask you to do that. I heard DuckDuckGo is slowly on the decline and going the way of Google. So I don't use it, so I can't tell you one way or another, but I've heard. All right, now that we've an hour and a half later, I came to say what I needed to say. So we said it, we did it. Now I'm going to catch up on comments. Hello, everybody. Yeah, Brianna uses Palo Santo too. Yeah, sage is great, but if you want to burn sage, also follow it up or in tandem with some Palo Santo or something that's the smoke smells sweet. That's a really kind of easy way to know that you're still allowing, like, you guys know me. I don't mess with a lot of like spirit guides or anything anymore, or even connect to my own deceased relatives or friends. I just don't do that anymore, just for personal reasons. But I do still feel this benevolent presence around me, like a spirit guardian, kind of like, might call him a guardian angel or something, but even angels kind of give me the ick after what I've discovered. So of course, use your own judgment and discernment for whatever works for your spiritual journey. It's just what I choose to do. Yeah, just catching up on, I'm just kind of quickly skimming the comments just to try to get going here. Unresolved trauma can allow entities. Yes, absolutely. Like that's another way, another tip here for your spiritual cleansing and getting your destiny back is to literally heal your traumas. And I know that sounds like, well, how the hell do I do that? If I knew how to do that, I'd have already done that, obviously. But sometimes, the best way that I can tell you to heal your traumas is when you get triggered by something, instead of just instantly reacting, you feel into it, and it doesn't feel good. So it's not going to be a fun thing to do. Let me just preface this by saying it's not fun to examine your triggers, especially when you're in the trigger or feeling triggered. All these corporations buying up the residential properties and literally pricing the man that has to, and the woman that has to live there out of the properties. Big trigger for me lately. Well, feeling into it. And if I can't feel into it in the moment because I'm too heated about it, I'll put a little timeline on it or a time frame, but I will make myself a note. This is just an example, whatever it is I'm triggered by or you're triggered by. If you can't deal with it in the moment because you're too triggered, that's okay. allow yourself, and don't spiritually bypass, like, okay, it doesn't affect me anymore. I'm fine. See, I'm smiling. I'm fine. We're not here to bypass because that gets no one anywhere. So we're here to face things and actually get to the root. But my greatest tip for actually facing these traumas, these triggers, the root cause, not just what happened yesterday or today or what Felicia said to me 3 months ago. We're getting to the root cause of why what Felicia said to you 3 months ago is still affecting you today, or in the moment really got your gears going. We're getting to the root cause of why. Because when you can release or let go of the root cause of a trauma, a trigger, whether it's your baggage to carry or something someone did to you or something from a past life or passed down to you through your ancestry, we don't even have to usually know how it got there or even what the root cause is, but going on a shamanic journey, connecting to your spirit. If you don't know what a shamanic journey is, just Google. It's a lot like meditation, but you're not out here astral traveling and leaving your body open for entity infestation. So it's like you're connecting into, I always set that intention that I'm connecting to the original blueprint of Mother Earth, not these matrix grids that were put over copies of copies of copies. But yeah. You can reclaim your destiny by doing these shamanic journeys. And if you don't know where to start, just trust go through and find some, maybe you could Google, or don't Google, go to YouTube and search shamanic drum music. Or I found the beat of it. It almost gets you in this trance, but not in that way, not in a bad way, but it gets you deeper into your own body to where the thing that has really helped me with my own shamanic journeying is having a place that I start every single journey in. It's my safe place. And I usually envision, and Amber, if you've taken Shamanic Self's, some of her courses, she kind of starts, not all of them this way, but some of them, especially the soul blueprint stuff. I know, I'm pretty sure you've done those. You start by going downstairs or a ladder, and then you arrive in your safe space. Now, your safe space can be somewhere out in nature. Your safe space can be your childhood bedroom, but if you have a lot of childhood trauma, maybe that's not the best place to have it. It can be some place that you've never seen in this life or reality. It can just be whatever intuitively comes up the first time you do it. But every time you're going to do a shamanic journey, I always personally just start by going down the stairs and going into my safe space. And just for spoiler alert reasons, my safe space is like this cave reality. It's like a very safe, because to me, it's like very grounding to be in this kind of it's not really even underground. It's just under some ground. But when I go down the tunnel to get out of the cave, I'm just on level ground. It's weird. But it's a very safe cave. Like no earthquake is going to implode or anything like that. I'm very safe. And I have my own, and this is something I did last night because I felt this like kind of sore throat thing, and I felt it. I want to say, it was definitely last Wednesday that we just had, but maybe even the live stream before, I'm like, I felt something coming on, so I took some oregano oil. Well, I did that for like 3 days, and then I stopped because I thought, oh, well, I nipped it in the bud. Go me, I did it. But then I took another one last night. Oh, it's nasty to just drink it with water, but I did it, and then I did it again this morning. Nasty stuff, but it works so well. It helps combat anything that's looking to take root, which this isn't a natural detox for me. Again, using my intuition, I can feel the difference between I'm getting ill because my body's ready to let go of more stuff versus they're looking to get to me. And by they, matrix controllers, whatever you want to call them. So I go into my safe space, and my safe space is this cave, and it has this like very rejuvenating, renewing bed that when I even lay, and I had like a healing in this bed with my shamanic guide, with my black jaguar was there, and I was protected. And I set the intention with my true spirit every time that any spirit I'm working with during a shamanic journey has been fully vetted out by my spirit. My spirit will not allow me to work with any Archangel Michaels or anything that's nefarious looking to harness or harvest my energy or trick me, false light, all that fun stuff. My spirit is, I always will defer to my own true spirit, that if I'm even in these journeys working with a spirit that's not in my highest alignment, my spirit will let me know right quick so I can get them out and then work with what is going to benefit. because this is the thing, after that rude awakening from the awakening, it's like I kind of went off where I'm like, I'm not talking to any spirits, just my own true spirit. And that's all great while you get this foundation under you. But no man is an island. No person is an island. And we do have spiritual teams that do have our back, because there's copies of copies of copies. They had to have something to copy off of. Our actual spirit team. So now I'm dipping my toes and my feet and my calves into the water of, okay, I'm ready to work with true spirits that are my true spirit team. I have enough discernment under my belt after a year and a half plus, almost 2 years now, from this rude awakening from the awakening, that it took me that long, almost 2 years, not quite, but almost, to feel safe and secure and discerning enough to step back in these spiritual realms. Because we do need that support. And even if we're not ready and we've kind of stepped out of connecting with these spiritual supports, just know that anything that is in alignment with your true spirit, that is your true spirit team, you could never not be connected to them. So don't feel like you're doing yourself the worst by cutting them all off. They're not literally cut off. It's just you may feel they're cut off, but they still are supporting and protecting and guiding you in whatever ways your true spirit can get to you, if you're connecting with your true spirit through all this. So if you're just unsure what entity, what angel, what guide, whatever to connect to or not, and you're just real confused in that arena, best bet is just to go no contact with the spirit realm except your own spirit, and just get a feel for what your own true spirit feels like, and allow your own true spirit to vet out anything that's coming your way. Even the foods that you're eating, ask your true spirit, is this in my highest alignment? It's touted as a health food, but is it healthy for me, my own composure, my own body, my own makeup, my own DNA? Because it may be that you're allergic to that thing, and it's a health food, why can't I just get it together? Stop eating it if it's not in alignment with you. But yeah, there's a lot of ways. But the shamanic journeys, you can just set any kind of music, and you can guide yourself every single time. Where, even if it's the same music you're using over and over, sometimes that familiarity can help you get in this kind of spiritual state even quicker than something that's novel and new. Because some of these music, that the first few times I do these journeys, well, first I vet them out, like, with muscle testing or with my connection with my spirit. And I didn't do that with one recently that I told you guys, that I'm like 9 minutes into this thing, and then Archangel Metatron shows up, and I'm like, I did not sign up for this. I did not read the fine print. I did not test it out, or I'd know that this was not for me. It even said in very small print on the thumbnail, with assistance of spirit guides and Metatron. I was like, oh, see, if I had just read and done my due diligence, see, I make mistakes all the time too. So no one's perfect over here at all. But yeah, let me catch up on some more comments, because we're gonna keep it moving. We're going to do a free 1 card pull for everybody. And I do apologize for those of you that made it through a lot of this and then had to go because it talks so long. But I think this was the main prize today anyway. And we got it done. We got it accomplished. I feel good about it. And I hope it benefited you guys. Even if it just gave you something to think about and you're still like unsure what to do. Maybe watch this again or listen to it. You don't even have to watch it. There's no visuals. Just listen to it as you go about your day or something. Whenever you feel called to get a handle on, or just really let this stuff sink in and find that power within you, that yes, I'm ready to take my life back, take my power back. Jess is getting notifications finally. I just saw that comment. I'm trying to catch up here. Oh my God, if you sit and analyze the songs she has, I won't sing them as words or spells, right? Oh yes, so true. But how many love songs out there are like codependent, toxic? That's not love. I'm not saying all love songs. There are some really beautiful, actual, unconditional, attuned to heart love songs out there. But I'm saying what we deem as love songs. Not it for me, sis. Not at all. Yeah, whole premise of Stranger Things. Yeah, I haven't watched that, but I've caught enough to be up with like the pop culture of it, I think. Heard stories about celebrities. I just didn't understand how the energy behind it worked for them to benefit exactly. Yeah, there are all sorts of contracts between them and the controllers and the fan base, even just by you literally paying with your money to go to certain concerts. It's like you're giving permission, whether you know it or not. It's scary. It's hard out here. We're literally fighting for our lives at every turn. I mean, even in our entertainment, bread circuses, right? There's an old whisper that Aaliyah was sacrificed for Beyonce's career. I did not know that, but that makes sense. I know they were like this. And then Beyonce just went into the stratosphere after she passed away. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Yes, I feel my light. Yeah, I'm seeing you guys like, I feel my light. I feel my light. I feel my light. I love that. I'm glad you do, because so many people don't. And that's a gift, just being aware that that light's there. And then now you can really work to expand it. Because you don't know what you don't know. But when you know what you didn't know before, that's powerful. Sometimes just having the awareness, just waking up to the fact that this is a thing, that's a thing, that's a thing, is like half the battle, because you can't fight what you're unaware of. I know we've all heard from very young, even me, I've heard, oh, we're in spiritual warfare, but I had no idea what the hell that meant until I knew what the hell that meant. And even now, I'm still peeling back and finding deeper and deeper layers of this crap, you know? It goes so deep. Yeah, I feel my light, but I also have to play the Matrix game to be able to leave it. Yeah, and that's the struggle of it all. It's so hard. Yeah, that was Marlene's comment. Amber says, I was already pushed early into this incarnation when it was not the right time. In fact, I might have decided not to come altogether due to this. And that's something that happened to me is, it wasn't during the birth process, but it was, I want to say, this might sound weird, Mama, if you're listening, this has nothing to do with you, but it was like the day that you got married to my dad. I felt like, and this is not something I knew like growing up or anything, but like recently in a shamanic journey where I felt like during that contract that was made between you and my dad, that I was like, oh, no, I'm out, I want out. But I was already in it to win it, so I had to be born 2 months later. Conceived out of wedlock. Yeah, bananas used to look like the center of a kiwi. You're right. I love looking at Mandela effect examples because it's so real. Yes. Podcast I saw about seeds wasn't even a woo-woo spiritual thing. It was a scientific fact. Absolutely. Absolutely. Randy made it. I'm just catching up on comments if you're just joining us. We're going to be getting a free 1-card pull coming up really quickly, but I wanted to get into, I want to not ignore you guys the whole time and just be preaching up here on my soapbox. LP, hello. If I didn't say hi to you and you left a comment or are here, just hi everybody, blanket statement for everybody. Yes, you guys are really resonating with the fact that we can't run in dreams for some weird reason. I wonder if my destiny's been swapped or if I had Saturn return. Yeah, Saturn return almost feels like a really crucial time that people can get their destiny swapped or hijacked in some way. It feels energetically. Another time is around the Uranus-Saturn square that happens around age 40, which, yeah, I had that go on. And they call that like the midlife crisis square in the chart, is when Uranus is squaring your Saturn. Uranus transit is squaring your natal Saturn is what I'm trying to say, which happens anywhere between age 30. I think it's anywhere between age 38 and 42. Like most people hit it around age 40. Midlife crisis. Well, it's not. It's a big karmic turning point, or energy hijack point, or destiny swapping point, or karmatic interference or transference point, whatever we want to call it. Tried running in a dream and I moved slow motion. Yeah, quicksand especially. Yep. Anyone else see the meme? It's like, as a young kid, I always thought quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem in my adult life than it actually is. Remember when all the kids, when I was a kid and people younger than me and even my kids were like, oh, everybody stay up on the furniture. We can't get stuck in the quicksand. Like we used to do that. Like we'd run from the reclining chair, hop onto the couch. And then if we had to like jump over to the coffee table and then jump into the kitchen, like, I mean, it was quite a distance in the house I grew up in, but like as kids, we used to play like floor is lava or quicksand, you know? So weird. A lot of kids do that though. So I'm wondering if that's some weird like thing that we remember from our DNA or our ancestry, or maybe even past life stuff where we had to escape quicksand or hot lava. Very interesting. Oh, you dream about your old home a lot. Yeah, I do too. So much. And even though my old home literally burned twice and then was literally taken to the dump, like literally tore down, taken to the dump, I still, like, there's that energetic resonance of it that is still there in my dream state. It's so weird. Oh my God, I feel a destiny swap happened recently with me with that henna artist who asked me to put up a joint shop in April. Yes, Amber. Absolutely. I'm getting like ding, 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 ding. Like, yes, absolutely. I hope you're still listening, Amber. Wow. That, and the hands, you got to think of it. I know in this culture, hands, like, oh, big deal, hands. There's something very intimate about your hands and allowing someone else to touch your hand. That's why I don't really vibe with just randomly shaking people's hands unless I've vetted them out energetically first. And I almost feel like the a-hole sometimes, like not wanting to shake certain people's hands. There's something very intimate about shaking a hand and meeting someone, or, a handshake is like literally making a deal. We end it with a handshake. But when you just meet someone and then you do a handshake, it's like you're making a deal to enter into some sort of karmic contract with them. Ew, I'd rather not. Another ad. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's see. Brandy Lynn says, I'll hold you to that. I don't know what that was, but yes. I get that way too, but I think we absorb others' energy and it takes the wind out of our sails. Some are energy vampires too. Oh, this is something I'm going to be doing this weekend. Feel free to do it with me, or, kind of on your own, but like, we're going to support each other. I'm breaking a contract with being an empath. That does not mean I'm going to lose my empathic ability, but what is it? We're inundated here. We are in over our heads already, just dealing with our own attacks and our own energy and our own families and our own homes and our own people. I can still, like I was saying on that last live stream, I can't stop shaking that I don't want to give my empathy all over the place. It's more, I can have compassion for people going through things or sympathy for people going through things, but to have that empathy where they're in pain, and then I'm also taking on their pain, but yet they're still in pain, that solves nothing. That transmutes really nothing. So I want to do this thing where I'm changing up the script. I'm flipping the script. I'm ripping up the contract with being an empath. That does not mean I'm no longer an empathic person. It just means, what it means is I can shine my light and be that example for others struggling out there to know they can deal with their own shit. And I swore, you guys, I just swore. Because us empaths out here, we're done. It's too much. We're done. We can still have that like empathic sight to know what needs that empathy and whatever, but we don't have to take it on as ours. We have enough. We have more than enough. So I'm going to be doing that this weekend. I'm going to be breaking the contracts with taking on other people's stuff, because let's just be honest, a lot of us being an empath is allowing people to not ever have to grow up or change or make those shifts. And here we are trying to literally take our power back, take control of our lives back, and do the work, do the heavy lifting to make things better for ourselves and get our life back on track. We can't be out here also taking on other people's burdens 24/7. We just can't do it anymore. I mean, if you want to, you can't. I'm not going to no longer be an empath after that. I'm just breaking the contract that heavy burden just sits and sits and sits and sits and never goes anywhere. And it weighs us down. I'm breaking those contracts. I'm done. All right, let's see. I moved on the chat here. Yeah. All right. Happened around the same time in April for Amber. Yep. Interesting event last night. I wake up every few hours, but was setting intentions every time. I forgot to do it when I woke up early. After that, oh my God, my dreams were crazy. Yeah, same thing happened to me last night. It was a pretty crazy dream state. And I kept waking up and setting the intention to, connect to very good and vetted out by my true spirit places. But the last time I woke up, before having to wake up for the day, I didn't set that intention again. And where did I find myself? Really weird places I shouldn't have been. Yeah. We got to be so diligent, you guys. It's not even funny. I started rebounding mini trampoline about 2 months ago, and I recommend it. Yes, that's such a good way to, because if you're doing all this fasting and stuff, that's great. And, getting your gut in order. But if you don't have clear detox pathways, you're going to get these like Herxheimer reactions to all the detoxing you're doing. So you want to make sure, and you can just Google how to clear your detox pathways. There's lots of different ways to do it, but making sure you're doing lymph drainage, like you have lymph nodes all over, but like I do like a lot of sinus lymphatic drainage, can just, and of course, not just the physical act of it, but setting the intention that all the toxins are finding their way to the exit points, exit stage left, exit stage right. I had that reversed. You know what I meant? But for you, it looked proper, but it's wrong hands for me. Yeah. And then dry brushing is another thing before you get in the bath or shower. It's a good way to get those detox pathways open. There's lots of ways. Just Google it. It's pretty simple to find. But yeah, you want to make sure those detox pathways are really good and open. Another thing I mentioned on the last live stream that I would be remiss if I didn't mention here is that diatomaceous earth, food grade, has to be food grade or you could damage yourself. So make sure it's food grade diatomaceous earth. And you can look up all sorts of protocols. I'm in a group, I think it's just called Diatomaceous Earth or something like that on Facebook. And the only reason I go to Facebook is for my very specific groups or like Roots Restored Wellness. I'll check in on her stuff more lately than before. I'm just kind of back on there, but only in my certain circles. I don't scroll the feed. I did kind of yesterday and I caught myself. I'm like, stop it. What are you doing? Because I already like felt hooks coming in from, stuff with like the hurricane that happened and, the election. There's lots of hooks looking to find a feeder to feed off of. So you got to clear yourself. Even after every time you pick up your phone and start scrolling or you want to go look something up, clear your energy every single time. I know that sounds like overkill, but it's not. Trust me, it's not. It's a lot to do. Yeah, we went over the Babylonian astrology. Let's see. Stopped after the birth DNA or was interrupted by Kashfi's health. Well, why do you think? Another thing to get you from discovering the truth and continuing on your spiritual routine, spiritual path. So the sooner you can get back on that, Amber, I'd say the better because you're really going to benefit yourself. Yeah, sure time. Every time I feel like eating outside, I end up making the same thing at home. I do that. Did provide things to think over and consider. Thanks, Amanda. You're so welcome, Linda. Absolutely. I do shamanic drumming by the Honest Guys. Oh, I don't know if I know who that is. Amanda, I'm so proud of you and how you can help all of us and give us things to think about. I know one of my purposes here was to give birth to my amazing children and to share with the world. Aw. And to think I wanted to try to deny you of that destiny by getting out of there. No, I'm out. Oh, no, I'm stuck. Well, I'm making the most of it. And let's just be honest. All this heaviness aside, there are some really beautiful and amazing moments and people and situations and things to experience in this realm. We have to give it that. There is, I don't know if the good always outweigh the bad, but caveat to say there are some amazing experiences here and people and situations. It's just the whole foundation that this place is built on is not for our highest good. We'll put it that way. Yes, especially in the cartoons. Quicksand was real. Absolutely. I don't know what it was. Oh my God, I saw it in a dream recently where I was in a public toilet line, which was overflowing and dirty. I have those dreams all the time. Or I'm looking for a bathroom and I can't find it. Like, I'm ready to eliminate or to let go of something and I can't find the way to do so. Like that, but that to me is a very telling dream that we're ready to let go of stuff when you have dreams like that. Yeah. Wow. That's a pretty powerful, and I have those dreams quite often, more often than a person should. Yeah. I was talking about your vow to stay on your writing path. I thought that's what you were talking about and renew your dedication. Yeah, absolutely. Because when I really just sit down and get real honest with myself about it, I get excited about it again and I get pumped up. And then I start, well, I got this going on tonight and then tomorrow I got this, which, yeah, valid. But also at what point is there that blockage I need to somehow find? Probably in a shamanic journey is what I'm going to be doing. But I think my first next shamanic journey this weekend is going to be to break that contract with being an empath and taking it all on. Even the things that no one knows I'm trying to take on for them, I'm taking them on. And no, I'm done with that. I don't want to do that anymore. I can still be sympathetic and compassionate without having to carry that heavy empath burden, you know? Yeah, can we break contracts with being an empath? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and especially with taking on other people's karma. Is karmic theft a thing? Like, karma theft? I mean, I don't know, but I'm done taking on other people's crap, literally and figuratively. Like, I'm done, you know? I think so many of us are there. I was talking about, oh yeah, we read that. Epsom salt bath is also good to release toxins. Yes, absolutely. And you can do what's called a shaman bath and add like baking soda with the Epsom salt or other types of sea salt. And what else do I add? Sometimes like rose petals, dried or fresh, are very powerful, very potent. Rose oil, very potent. It's the most high vibrational oil or flower in this matrix realm. It's the most high vibrational. So roses are very potent in spiritual work of any kind. They can even help clear and cleanse. So rose oil can help cleanse, and having fresh roses in your house or rose bushes on your property are very cleansing as well. I'd have them, but the deer eat them. I could though have them out back, but my mint, oh my gosh, the mint has taken over the world in my backyard. I got to cut it back this fall. Well, shoot, I better get that going here soon because, as you can see out my window, we've got some changing of the seasons happening. It's a nice day for once. But here's a fun fact. So yesterday, I did a photo shoot with my friend Cindy, just taking some pictures of her, and then I'm hoping to get some pictures of my family because we haven't done them like we were talking about on the last live stream. I haven't done them in a long time. So we're going to go do some family pictures. And the sky was just so full of trail after trail after trail. And before you knew it, the whole sky was white. And when we started the photo shoot, it was a beautiful blue, clear sky, not a cloud in sight. I like some clouds, you know, they're real clouds. But it was a nice deep blue, kind of at that golden hour time. And then before you know it, the sky's just white. And then, wouldn't you know, my mom sends me this thing last night about to expect high winds in our area starting tonight or starting this afternoon through this evening. Gusts getting up to 60 miles an hour. That's not normal for where I live. And the fact that they sprayed and sprayed and sprayed last night to kind of gear up for that, it's purposeful. They're doing it on purpose. But it's weird because I was on Facebook, but it was just in my little circle of what I vet out and want to talk about. But someone was talking about what was it? It was Jason Christoff, which I follow a lot of his stuff on Facebook. But he was talking about something, and then one of the comments, the lady's like, first Lahaina and Maui, then North Carolina and Asheville and all that going on. What's next? And my intuition said, well, duh, earthquakes on the West Coast. And then I sat back and thought about it. There was just this morning, like early this morning, a like 3-point something earthquake, which is not that bad, like up in Vancouver along that fault line. And I think yesterday there were 3 different earthquakes down in California, which they've been in kind of an earthquake drought. Usually they've got quite a bit of seismic activity, but it's been kind of quiet until like it hasn't been. Like recently it's just starting to pop off again. So I don't know. But it's weird because when I tune into it, it doesn't just feel natural. It feels like a natural process that's been hijacked again. Because that storm, I do feel that Hurricane Helene did start out as a natural process, much like Raylene was tuning in, feeling, I felt the same thing. But then, because what I saw in my mind's eye when you first hear about these things forming out in the Gulf or whatever, wherever it formed, I'm like, okay, but this is going to be able to dissipate before it like downgrade to tropical storm and yeah, cause a little bit of damage and cleanse and clear the land and whatever. But no, it got hijacked and amplified. And you can even see the HAARP, HAARP, ridges or like kind of grid in the storm. You can see it. And then there was like spirals and all sorts of stuff, but it just makes me so mad that they do this. I mean, it's been known that they've had patents. I mean, even during Vietnam, they've had patents to change the weather and extend the monsoon season during Vietnam. Since the late 60s, early 70s, they've been doing this that we know of. So of course they've perfected that technology by now. So if they're not using this technology that we know they have for good, aka dissipating, disbanding these horrific storms, instead they're amplifying and intensifying. Oh, and don't get me started on I was mad. I need to stop going to these things about what's going on because, again, my empathy and taking that burden on is not helping anybody. But the FEMA getting involved, and it's not the people that work for these corporations. Let's just put that out there because I know the people that want to sign up and help, they have a heart, obviously. a lot of these nurses and doctors and people that get into these positions where they want to help people because they genuinely want to help people. But then the system that they're put in is, a lot of them will get jaded pretty quick, or maybe some turn to the dark side and like, well, the money's pretty good, let's do it. But so these people who have been displaced, they've lost everything in this flooding and hurricanes. And then they are at these specific facilities run by FEMA for them to be able to go in and have a hot shower. They're being denied because they don't have shower shoes? Are you effing kidding me? That made me so mad. I'm like, these people literally made it out with the clothes on their back, and some of them barely with even that. And you're saying we don't want to spread any, athlete's foot or whatever in these showers if you don't have some flip-flops to wear into the shower. Can you see how these systems are broken? And I can't even, it just makes me so irate. Help people. And if you don't want to help people, get out of the way so the neighbors and the people around that are trying to help can help the people. This is the page torn right out of the playbook of what happened in Miami. Ooh, maybe something's going to happen in Miami. I hope not. Maui. Where all of the neighbors and the citizens and the people showed up to help, send donations to all these places, or their donations, their money was all confiscated by the red, and then this, you know what that is, organization, or the FEMA organization, or some of these other organizations, was taken and then stored in warehouses or these places, not going directly to the people that need it right now. Like, not 4 hours from now, not 4 weeks from now, not even 4 years from now, but they need it now. Some of this stuff, from what I've gathered and boots on the ground, is still in a storage facility. Well, if there were perishables, they're long gone. Like, what are we doing? Like, if anything, let's just say the positive of this is waking people up to the fact that these systems are beyond broken, and this is disgusting. This is not how you treat people. And if you're going to treat people like that, at least just step out of the way and let the people that are in these communities that want to help, let them help. Don't say you're going to arrest them for flying your helicopter in to save this old lady and this baby that was just born. And I heard some really harrowing, amazing stories of neighbors helping neighbors, of members helping other community members. I'm getting chills just talking about the spirit that you're seeing come alive during these crisis times. But then you see, the villain of the story come in. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. If you ever hear those two sentences, you run. You run so far the other way. It's so crazy. Linda has to run. Yes. Let's see. So, yeah, we're going to do the cards right now, actually, because we've caught up on comments. I'm just on my soapbox. So I'm just having fun because we don't have any donations. So I don't feel this push to get to people's donations. So, Dubai actually accepted cloud seeding in March. Then it got flooded. Yeah. Hi, beautiful. Welcome. And I'm looking on my phone because they've hijacked my chat box. They first hijacked the first live stream I had to talk about all this. And then they took away my chat box, as you can see there. There's my chat box. It says something went wrong. You think? Twice now. And then, of course, the last live stream, they it just said go live, and it said retry. Something went wrong. Retry. And then I pushed finish on accident because I slipped, and then it ended my live stream. But it's weird because after that live stream, I've deleted it since because it was 15 seconds of me trying to this. What's going on? It was working, but it was telling me on my back end I wasn't live, and it wasn't working, but it was. It was weird. What the heck? I know what's going on, but I just don't. I hate it. I just want to change the whole thing, flip the whole script. Well, maybe me breaking the contract of being an empath can help. Okay, we're going to do a free one card pull for everybody who's here. Put a 777 in the chat, and I will pull you a card. Let's just start with Linda. We're at 208.29. Linda. One card. Okay. For Linda, what does Linda need to know? Target. You are a goal-oriented person. So Linda, if you've been feeling off your game, off your target, feeling this sense of stagnation or confusion about your path very soon, and maybe it's just because you're claiming your destiny back to yourself, but you're going to be goal-ended. Something with a goal is ending and something else is beginning, but you're going to be right on target. You're hitting the bullseye of something you've been trying to do or manifest for a while. And it's through no fault of your own that this hasn't happened. This is, again, feels like something was hijacked, something was taken, something was stolen energetically, and you're claiming it back for yourself because it's yours. And that's something that I forgot. I even put it in a box so I wouldn't forget, and I forgot. Good news. Call your power back. It's yours. You have the power here. You have the authority. Wherever your power has gone away from you, you're the original resonance of that energy. Call it back to yourself. And use your intuition. Kind of find ways to really step into your power. Because you'll be reclaiming your destiny in ways you wouldn't even expect if you're living in your authenticity. If you're walking your path. You're living in your light. You're taking the utmost care of yourself. Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Take care of yourself. Because if you're not going to take care of yourself, no one's going to do it for you. That's the vibe. Because most of us watching here are above, our parents having to take care of us anymore. All right. And even some of you out there, your parents didn't take care of you. So you've been taking care of yourself for a minute. All right. Amber, let's get you a card, or Kashvi a card first. Okay. Kashvi. We have fair man. Dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. This feels like some sort of guide, but not in a bad way. Like this feels like some sort of protector around her. I want to get a clarifier on this for Kashvi. Yeah, star. Helping her keep her light, helping her shine her light. But if this is someone she does know, this person almost acts as a protector or a guiding light, like a star in her life. Someone she can admire and look up to. I don't feel it's her father's energy, though. This is someone else. But whatever she's dealing with this man with, she's guaranteed success in this arena. Big time. Because he has her best interests at heart. Sent into her life for something good. Yeah. All right. Next. Michelle De Leon. Let's get her a card. Michelle. Okay. Woo! Michelle, slippery energy. Something's trying to fall away from you. Indecisiveness. Allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Classic example of destiny theft. Destiny swapping. Karmatic transference. But it's slipping away. So where you felt indecisive, where you felt like your life was just kind of going in the same circle, same cycle, same shit, different day, that's changing for you. Because you're calling some of your power back. So the fact that fell to the ground, I'm actually really glad. Because if I just pulled this out, that's a different meaning than it's slipping through my fingers and falling away. And I had to work to go get it. So you might have to do some work here. But things are going to shape up for you, Michelle. What you put in, you're going to get out. Let's just put it that way. What effort and energy you put into yourself and claiming your light, your shine, Michelle, you're gonna see the benefits and reap the rewards of that. All right. Marlene, let's get Marlene a card. Marlene. All right, Marlene, you get 2. Handshake. Ooh, what we were saying about the handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. Remember what we said, though, about the handshake, about signing a contract? And then kangaroo, unsettled times need to plan ahead. Okay, this to me really does feel like past energy. It's like you're making a contract to move out of past energy, but you may even be signing a new contract. This could have to do with you asking for what you deserve at work. And unsettled times, I think that is referring to the fact that you know you're worth more than you're currently being paid and you're ready to ask for what you deserve. And you will get it because, and it doesn't feel like it's a stranger specifically. I know the card says that, but this feels like business is being done. So like a business contract, work contract. That's what I feel for you. All right. Let's go to Brandy Lynn. So many 7s throughout the webinar today. I love it. Brandy Lynn. Brandy Lynn's card. Ooh, you get 2 as well. Wow. They're both like insects. Oh, another ad. My apologies if anyone got taken away. Ant. Work, achievement, and success. And then fly. A period of ill health and depression. Well, it feels to me like, okay, just tuning into the energy of what the ant accomplishes. They're very busy. They're very goal oriented. They don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. When an ant is at work, it's going to get accomplished. So ants even work together. They're like a network. They form this like underground cave system of networks, and their sisters are always helping the other sisters. It's much like bee energy. The sisters help the sisters, and it's mostly females that are doing the work. The drones are the ones that can fly. The masculine energy. There may be in your life, Anna, a masculine energy that's looking to ride on your coattails of success and abundance. And it could have even been going on for a while. And someone may, if there's any kind of destiny theft, it's not like this person wanted your life. They just wanted some of your, like, to kind of ride your coattails. It feels like a masculine energy. And this is something we're going to talk about like toxic relationships at some point, maybe next week, maybe the week after. We're going to get into some toxic relationship advice and all the things and like the spiritual things going on behind the scenes. But especially if it's like a male-female relationship and the male is like in the control mode and the female is supplying all of the creative life force energy for this male to really shine in life. And then this male just wants to lock down this feminine energy for himself and not allow her to shine her light. Like, that's what this feels like. This might even be past life energy related for you, Anna, but you're still carrying this in your life. Even if you don't have a significant other or a father that was really controlling or something like that, this feels like something you're working through to know that your divine feminine energy is worthy, that it's not for sale or it's not for free. It's not public or private property for anyone. It's yours. And you're claiming that power back from maybe even the patriarchy itself, possibly. Very cool energy there, but you're claiming something back for yourself. That's kind of the vibe with a lot of these cards is we're taking it back. Taking it all back. All right. You're so welcome. Absolutely. Wow, I did that in a shamanic journeying and placed all that in a healing pod for removal and all attachment and cords. And when it's time, it will integrate into my heart center. I love that, Amber. So cool. All right, Mardell, 777, Fair Woman, and the Sun. This feels to me like you. That looks like a 14-year-old version of you. This is your own inner child. Wow, Mom, this is big. We'll talk more about this later. I want to go into depth with this for you. This is about you. I don't want to spill family tea, meaning like generational family tea. You and I, Mom, we'll talk about this because this, wow. And especially where your sun sign is and your relationship with your own mother. We have things to talk about here, Mom. Let's just make this reading here for you, Mom, a place marker, and I'm going to talk to you on the phone when we're done here. Or whenever you're done with work or whatever. Next time we talk on the phone, we'll talk about this. Wow. I kind of knew it like in the back of my head, but this just confirms it. Okay. We'll talk about that later, Mom. Oh, that's her math mentor for Kashfi's reading. Okay. Remember, if you can see it, you can be it. Yeah. And it's like, if you can shape it. Oh, I have a fortune cookie fortune. It's like, if you can shape it in your mind, you can see it in your life. And that is so true. That is so true. And even if you're the one here shaping it in your mind, and then you are so excited, you go tell someone about it, then they shape it in their life. See it in their life because you've told them the blueprint to go steal your dream. So we are, what was the word? We're moving in silence. Yes. All right. Yay for Michelle. She says, thank you. You're so welcome. I have chills. He does. He is the math specialist in our school district. Chills again. I feel overwhelmed. Oh, big hugs, Amber. LP, let's get you a card. Are we talking about me here? So true for my current life, says Amber. LP. You have mice and bull. Okay, 2 animals. So Anna just had 2 insects, and you have 2 animals. So you guys, Anna, Banana Anna S, you can look up those 2, the spirit animal of the fly, the spirit meaning of ant, and then for you, LP, look up the spirit of the bull, spirit animal of mice, and get some additional guidance here. But the bull says, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. And I would say even wherever your house of Taurus is in your chart, or wherever Venus falls in your natal chart, if you're into your astrology. If not, you can look into it pretty easily. We did talk about how to look up or how to connect to the most, what's the word? Like the most true or the most like in alignment with what's actually playing out in this matrix by doing the Babylonian astrology. We talked about that earlier. Ooh, Venus in Capricorn. So you're very much in like work mode, very much in work mode. So especially at work, don't back down. Don't back down at work. If someone's trying to say, oh, whatever, especially because, you know, you're in your energy and you know what you're talking about, don't back down. Discord among friends or family. Again, this feels more work related, or maybe you even just trying to fight to gain the finances through working or finding a side hustle. Or if things in work aren't going 100% according to plan, don't back down because you're in the right. And I'm not just saying that because you're my friend and you're here. I mean, I don't know you in real life, but like we're all friends here, right? I'm not just saying that because you're here and you're my friend here in the chat. I'm saying that because it's true. You're right. You're in the right in this situation. So don't back down. Stand, especially if it's any knock on you and your work and your workmanship, stand up because your work will speak for itself, but also don't allow others to tread on you is what I'm hearing. All right. What else? What else? What else? Anyone else? Did we hit everybody? Anyone else that wants a one card pull? Put 777 in the chat. Oh, did I? I did draw for you and read the cards for Banana S. Well, if that message worked, claim it. And I'm going to now draw for Brandy Lynn. Yeah, for some reason, Banana S, I think that, there it was. I paid attention to the reading. You said my name. Yeah. All right, so let's just see for Brandy Lynn what she needs to know. We have the gavel, involvement with the law. Again, this doesn't have to be like, ooh, troubles a brewing. No, this is about karmic retribution. And I want to say we had that vibe or something going on in a reading on the last live stream. I kept remembering hearing karmic retribution. Let's pull one more. What is this for Brandy? But some wrong is being righted, not the other way. Some wrong is being righted for you. And temporary. Yeah, it's just temporary. You're going to move through whatever this is, but it's in your favor. Whatever's coming in, it's good. It's all to the good for you, Brandy Lynn. And because I mixed up your readings, let's tune into the energy, the spirit of Banana S, just see if there's anything else to add. Look, you guys literally your messages are so tied together for some reason. That's why I mixed it up. Because look, the scales, balance here, karmic retribution, also for Banana S. So there's a reason that happened. How funny! But keep your life in balance, Banana S. So yeah, I think all three of the readings I just did were for both of you ladies. So if anything resonated, even if I said Banana S or Brandy Lynn, fill in your name there. Isn't that? I mean, you can't make that stuff up. Gosh, awesome. We're all in good company. Yeah, I think so. So funny. And then it stands true for my controlling husband, brother, father, father-in-law I have in my life. All masculine control unleashed. I do think she missed me. I text a lot. Aw. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Anything that all of us, put a 777 if you're just joining us and would like a card or two. Kind of two have been coming out. I think I did. Did I? Oh gosh. See, now I'm confused. Let's pull another card for Amber just to make sure we covered all our bases here. We have Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. As you're saying all this stuff about the controlling masculine in your lineage and in your married life. You can't make that up either. Like, we have entered the twilight zone. And then happiness. Wow. And this is kind of the opposite of what mostly you have been experiencing. Oh, I looked on here and I didn't realize, I thought for some reason those were clouds because I was really focused on this. And I saw these eggs hatching into birds and flying the nest. And then I looked over and there's birds. You can't make that up. So, wow. Okay. Yeah. You're literally leveling up or hatching. You're rebirthing yourself in some way to where you're going to be able to overcome that masculine control that's been locked and loaded. This feels like a pre-incarnation. They already saw your light. And, you know, in this matrix, divine feminine light shines much brighter than patriarchy light. They don't even have light. Patriarchy has no light. I'm not saying the divine masculine has no light. No nuance. People in the back. This is divine masculine and divine feminine are not 3D patriarchy, 3D matriarchy vibes. Not at all. But the patriarchy has to fuel, and wow, chills. This is in alignment with what Raylene was talking about with the Montana megaliths that she went and visited. I don't think she named where she was, but that's where she was. I want to go there. I haven't been there yet. But I'll show you at the top of my to watch list. Let me go. I'll find it for you. Playlists. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I got to switch accounts. Dang it. I'm going to lose my chat for a second, but I'll be right back. I will show you. The top of my Montana megaliths. It's the top of, look, 449 videos to watch. Yeah, I'm not getting to those anytime soon because I'm pretty selective and don't allow myself to just watch. Although I want to sometimes, especially when I get on a topic, I want to learn and learn. Let's go back to Harmony Portal Tarot Live so I can get back on my live stream. But yeah, that gives me chills because she was talking about how that, Solomon energy had to literally anchor down and siphon the life force of the divine feminine coming in. All about the inversion energy, and masculine energy was inverted and made into controlling patriarchy going into the firmament. And yes, absolutely. All of this is connected. I feel like that guy again, that meme. I can't remember his name. I think it's this. Yeah, this guy. I feel like this guy right now. It's all making sense. It's all connected. You guys know that meme. Well, it's from, I think it's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's Charlie, I think is his name. Which is weird because I've never watched that, but that's what my guidance told me. I knew he was from that show, but I didn't know his name, and I'm like, I typed Charlie from Always Sunny meme. I've never watched it, though. Always about the inversion. Yep, that's so true. Isn't it crazy how so many things happening over the days? And it's so weird because the more we spiritually tune in, the more synchronicities just keep popping off. Like, you can't make this up. But I notice my whole life can be one walking synchronicity when I'm in the flow of life, in the flow of actual spirit. But then something comes in and throws a wrench in my gears, and then I'm very focused on the 3D, feel good, get kids to school, just very 3D, day in, day out kind of things, and I get off the spiritual path, and the synchronicities almost disappear. So if you notice synchronicities and just you feeling really like chills, because I just saw something about this, just know that's you getting thrown off your spiritual path. It's a good indication, really, right there. In real life moment, just coming through. All right, all of us watching, I don't see any other sevens. Did I miss anybody? If you're just joining us, put a 777 in the chat and I will draw you a card or two, however many need to come out. And if you're feeling frisky, drop a like on the video. A like. Feeling frisky, feeling fine. All right. So I don't see any other sevens, so we're going to just pull 1 or 2 cards for the little collective that are watching now or the replay, and then we're going to do our giveaway and our drawing, and then we're ducking out. We don't have any donations that I know of. I'm going to just double check, though. Come on. You can load. You can do it. Put a little power to it. All right. No, we're caught up, meaning no donations. So Kashfi got excited about her card. We asked him to come today and take a session with her. Aw, so cool. All right, let's get a couple cards for those of us watching now, and then we're going to get into the giveaway and the drawing. We're getting 3. So we have mice. This came out earlier for someone. Discord among friends or family. Feather. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. And then crown. Honor and respect will come to you. So even if you've been dealing with or will deal with, and life comes in cycles. So this energy will come around again. It might stay a while, might stay a little while, a little bit. It'll always come back around as long as we're in this matrix. But just know, The honor will and respect will come to you, especially if you're living in authenticity and reclaiming your power back. Because that will make it so that someone you know that's undependable, I almost said unpredictable, undependable and insincere. If you're living in your authenticity and someone's being insincere, bye. Like energetically, it's just not a match anymore and it can't function in the same room. This is how they get your power, because it's usually when you're unaware of your own light, of your own power, of your own talent, of your own ... whatever. It's when you're unaware. I just got an email that says, congratulations, you won, from something I'm subscribed to. I'm sure it's just, here, come shop at our store. But hey, you won. So it's when you're not aware of your power, your talent, your beauty, your insert here in this blank. That's when they can come in and grab it as their bag. Like, this is my bag, it's mine. But when you're aware of your power and you're stepped into that power, good luck. Like, you scare them before they even get through the door. And then they're out. They're looking for an easier target usually. Unless there are even greater forces behind them, and they will build up and work to do what they need to do to try to take you down. But just know, honor and respect will come to you. Even if this is you having to walk away from full-on workplaces, communities, family situations, eventually you will find your power and you will shine your light in your full authenticity. All right. Let's get one of these Starlight cards. I got these out today thinking we'd use them, and then we didn't. So I was going to actually use these for the free one card pull, and then I just automatically went to the Tea Leaf Oracle. So it was meant to be. It was meant to be. All right. Closing advice statement argument. What do we need to know? Control. Okay, I'm just speechless at the amount of synchronicity. But link your own constellations and take control. Literally taking your destiny back. Mic drop. I mean, what? What have we been talking about this whole freaking time? I even showed you how to find your destiny point and all that in your astrology. It fell to the floor, though. So for some of us, it might be slippery. I had to lean down and get it off the floor because I dropped it. But come on now. You can't make this up. What's on the back of the deck? Underlying energy. Limitless. Know your worth. That's why they're working so hard to steal your destiny. They know your worth. Now you need to know your worth and start acting like it. Yes, preach. Preach to those in the back, Amanda. All right. So let's do our giveaway. And if you're new here or it's been a while and you don't know how this giveaway goes, all you have to do, and we're finally getting into tarot today. This is called Stars Lighting Up the Night Tarot. I mean, how fitting. Our star of destiny is being put back where it deserves. In our own awareness, in our own hands. And yet another ad. I apologize, you guys. Again, I have no control over that. Oh, I can skip that one at least. No control over that, so I apologize. Okay. So, if you're watching now, all you have to do is determine what tarot card I'm pulling right now. Ooh. There's two that want to come out. Let's do two winners today. This has never happened before, but these two want to both come. Okay, wow. This is a cool combination, but like, okay. Get one or the other or both. So we have two chances to win the giveaway today. So we'll just say, I don't know. Let me just let you guys have at it for a moment. Because they're not the same suit or whatever. So have at it. They're both positive cards, so we'll narrow it down that way to get us started. Both positive cards. All right. Okay, so one of them is a major arcana. Ooh, someone got it. Banana Anna S, you got the major arcana. It is the Lovers. Stars Light Up the Night Tarot. So Banana Anna, you got a reading. And hey, Brandy Lynn, you might want to stay around because her reading might pertain to you as well. Oh dear. And then what's the other one? What's the other one? It's a Cups card. It's a Cups card. Oh, so close. Oh, Amber got it. 10 of Cups. Oh my gosh. And it's funny because the two people that won were the ones we kind of had confusion. Did you read my card? Did you read my card for someone else? How weird is that? How weird is that? So there's more to say. There's more to say here. So Banana Anna S, you won the Lover's card. Go ahead and post a question. We're going to get right into it for you. And hey, Brandy Lynn, this may pertain to you. And then Amber, ask yourself a question, or ask the chat a question, and I will get it for you. I'll get into it for you. You know what I mean. I'm going to take some water break. Yes, let's do it. This felt good. I feel good getting all of this off my chest and then some. This feels valuable to me. This feels like a very productive, valuable live stream. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I made it work. I was starting to get a little perturbed knowing that that first live stream wasn't working out yet again. Anything that card and my inner self wants me to know. Thank you. All right. So the Lovers. So this is about a choice. It can have to do with love life. Obviously, the Lovers, very duh moment on that. But it doesn't have to. If this is not a love-related thing. But let's tune in. What does Banana Anna ask me to know about this decision, this choice with the Lovers? But this is life-changing energy. Usually the major arcana are more major themes in life. The Fool. New beginning. You're making a choice to start something new. Another major arcana. So pretty big. I'm like pretty big energy, but I heard in my, okay, sorry to be crass. Pretty big balls here going on. Some pretty big balls involved. So this is taking some bravery. Big energy here though. It's taken some gumption to get this new beginning going and to have the courage to make this choice to go in a new direction possibly. But if this has to do with anything with destiny swapping, this is you just having the courage, having the balls to face, no, that's my light and I'm taking it back. I'm taking it all back. So what does she need to know about this endeavor? What does she need to know about this new beginning? Banana on an S. Ooh, 5 of Wands. So it's not going to come easily and it's not going to come overnight because 7 of Pentacles is about patience. It's about nurturing. It's about taking care of yourself. It's about doing the work. Even after you have that nice solid foundation, you've planted the garden, the seeds are all ready, they've been watered, they're starting to sprout up. Yeah, the heavy lifting of it is what we're saying, establishing the garden. And in your case, just being aware of the swapping, the theft, the karmic transference that's gone on in your life and knowing that, okay, I'm aware some of my power is outside of me. Well, I'm bringing it back. So you've planted the garden by looking at your life. And if you haven't done it yet, maybe sit down and kind of journal out, do a brain dump of where are, especially the things that really stand out in your timeline of life, where you really felt cheated, lied to, cheated on, stolen from, like that was mine and someone took it, literally or figuratively. Opportunities that didn't work out, really intuitively feeling, was that my protection or was that taken from me? Just do some due diligence, even if it's just in the last month. Take the last month as an example. And if any really standout events have happened where you thought things were unfair, really tune in. But stand your ground, energetically speaking. You do not have, again, move in silence. If you have a specific person in mind that has been doing you dirty or wrong in your family, in your friend circle, people at work, people from your past that maybe you don't associate with anymore, just intuitively, this is a very intuitive process for you. Feel in, and you do not have to call them out and say, I know you stole my destiny. I know you stole my opportunities. You don't have to even do any of that. You're moving in silence, but you're being very active beyond the veil to claim that power back and to protect yourself as you do so, because keeping yourself, cleared and protected up during this process of claiming your light back is going to be very important. Because if you're just going through your life with no spiritual cleansing and clearing and as a daily practice, you're going to hit a lot of roadblocks. I should have probably said that is, this is not little kid energy here of, oh, let me just F around and find out, it's fine. No, you got to be standing in your power even before you feel it's completely come back to you, because if these sources start feeling you've taken your power back, they're going to know. They're going to feel it because their light's going to start dimming, or the money that's rolling in for them by stealing your destiny, or the clients, or the accolades they've been getting by using your light are going to start fading away little by little. And this is not just a one-time, I declare bankruptcy, Michael Scott on The Office, where you just speak it into being instantly. This is a process. This is work. Maybe this needs a part 2 where we really get into the nitty-gritty of how we do the work. Well, I have something in the works about that, but we're moving in silence on that right now. So I'll let you kind of let your imagination run with what that could be. Because you're showing up. You're ready. You're ready to do this work. Let's get one of these Starlight cards for Banana Anna S before we close out. Amazing advice. Amazing advice. All day long. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got something out of it. I mean, if one person got something out of this, it's so worth it to me. Because I feel like I've already gotten something out of it just before the thing I mean, my worst handwriting on display for all to see. Just channeling this out from my own spirit. Like, how do we do this? What are we doing? What's going on here? But let's get you a closing statement. North Star. North Node much? Hold your ground and shine bright and unwavering. I mean, can we get any more clear with... We're repeating ourselves at this point. Wow. It's yours. Claim it. Speak it into being, but also do the work and show up and know it's going to be a process. It's going to take time because all that power, I mean, there can be times where you feel like the cord got pulled and the plug was pulled overnight. Absolutely, that can happen. But usually this is a slow process, kind of a boil the frog situation. Or you were targeted from birth and didn't know that you had the light to begin with. You didn't know any better, so you had no basis of comparison. I mean, both things can even be true at once, where a significant portion of your power was siphoned from pre-birth, and then the little bit of power you did get you do have while you're here has been slowly taken away by this or that or that or that. Both things can be true at the same time. Yeah, I have to go. Thanks. Talk later. Love you, Mom. Yes, we will talk more about your cards. The Fair Woman in the Sun. Remind me, though, if you're busy and I can't reach out to you right away, remind me to go more in depth on those cards because I have things to talk about, Mom. And then New Horizons. Old ways won't open new doors. And haven't we established that? And even if the destiny was yours to open certain doors and they weren't opening because your destiny was stolen or taken, just know the old ways of operating, whatever got you to that point, is not going to get you out of that point. We're going to have to do some rolling up of sleeves and get into work. We're in defense mode, but also offense mode. And the best defense is a good offense, and the best offense is a good defense in this. So it works together. And that's, I think, where the North and South Node or the Rahu Ketu come into play is one's offense, one's defense, one's defense, one's offense. Almost uniting. That's what I'm going to do. Wow. I just got a huge download. Anyone wanting to participate? I got chills. Okay, so I'm breaking contracts with being an empath, but I'm also going to unite in my own chart, in my own destiny, in alignment with my true spirit. I'm going to unite my North and South Node. Yes, obviously, they're still going to be separated in the chart, but instead of being separated, going like this, I'm energetically uniting them. To where one is doing the work, it's benefiting the other. And where one is doing the work, it's benefiting the... This is what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. This feels like a key. I just saw a key going into a lock and being turned. Now we're about ready to open the door. There's some big stuff coming for us, you guys. If we're going to do the work and we're going to set these intentions and follow through and claim our power back, each and every one of you can do that. You can unite the severed demon, as they call it in Vedic astrology. It's the demon. Do some research on Rahu and Ketu in Vedic stories, Vedic tradition, and you can read about what transpired with that whole thing. But if you can go energetically and restore that connection, because I feel it's your birthright. It's each of our birthright to have that connection restored so we can work fully from our spirit while incarnated. But that has been severed for each of us in a way or another, or fractalized in some way or another. Wow. Yeah, so many things to do. Like we're getting our schedules full of shamanic journeys here. Wow. Oh, I'm doing that. I'm so doing that. I have chills still. Like they won't go. They can't stop, won't stop. Ooh, yeah. Scorpio and Taurus unite. That's for Banana as her north and south node. And those are actually another ad, darn it. Those are actually the exaltation points of the north and south node. Of course, if there's so the north node in Taurus is like, ooh, this is good. And south node in Scorpio, ooh, this is good. But if they're swapped, meaning your north node is in Scorpio and your south node is in Taurus, they say that's like debilitated, I guess. Or really hard energy. Wow. Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah. So whatever houses your north and south nodes sit in, they are opposites in ways, but if you think about it, just as an example, my north and south node, my south node is in the 3rd house, my north node is in the 9th house. So uniting those, well, south node, where my south node sits in the 3rd house, deals with writing, and the 9th house deals with publishing. So like uniting that, maybe that's my missing key to just get my destiny back on and popping here. Taking my power back. Yeah. All right, let's get into it for Amber. So Amber, go ahead and post your question. If you didn't already, you might have and I just didn't see it. Yeah, planets are on these. They seem so involved. They really do. Yeah, all of them have planets, see? New beginnings. From chaos comes calm. All of them have planets. Yeah, they do feel very involved. I see for sure like the moon and Saturn. And then I don't know what those other 2 planets, Mars maybe, is that red one possibly? I'm getting Neptune vibes from that little blue one, but I know Neptune is huge. So I don't know. Neptune does deal with illusion. And then there's like I want to say black hole or something right there. But black hole to me is limitless potential. All possibilities could be happening simultaneously. All right, let's tune in for Amber. Go ahead and post your question. Of course, we're starting it off with the 10 of Cups, and you had that happiness card and the nest card, which to me, that combined with that was the vibe of the 10 of Cups. Emotional fulfillment. And there's even your birds there. Well, no, they're not birds. They're little angel babies. But from that far away, they look like birds, right? Angel babies. This might even be a message from the spirits of the babies that you lost. And even if there were more than 2 of them, know that there's 2 that are very connected to your true spirit family that are supporting you. And if you did have more than 2 miscarriages, this feels like it was the same 2 spirits kind of trying to come in, even if it was multiple losses. That's what that feels like to me. But let's see. Will the math mentor help Kashfi get back her lost love of meth? Oh, math. Math. Yes, let's find out. Will he come to teach her? Okay, let's find out. This is all Kashfi hijacking my win. Oh. All right. What mamas won't do for their babies. Yeah, Knight of Wands. There's forward momentum here. So if it's not today, it'll happen eventually. But this is pretty quick. So pretty quick, just having that right teacher can make the difference, or that right tutor can make the difference. So especially if he is somebody who is making math fun for her, it won't take long. Yeah, because I see she has a natural inclination toward just thinking in very systematic ways, that math really does resonate with her on a deep level. It's not something she has to work really hard to do. But sometimes when something comes naturally to us, it can just as easily be something that bores us because it's just so easy, But let's tune in. What's this mean? But yeah, I mean, the love of something, or the emotional fulfillment someone gets from something, math in her case, is coming back for sure. With this 10, there's a renewal, a new beginning with the 10. 1 plus 0 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. New beginning. So she's getting a renewed happiness with math, or connection, emotional fulfillment. She feels in her element when she's up with all the math stuff. She's out of her groove. She doesn't want homework or work in improving herself. Yeah, and all kids, I think, go through a phase like that, even if they were once very passionate. Like, I notice my kids get that way with certain sports during different seasons. It's almost like when a sport is over, they're like at peak, like, yeah, let's keep going on this sport, but like it's over, but they don't want the magic to die. So they keep playing like baseball in the backyard, even though baseball's over or whatever it is. But it's usually when they're trying to get back into it after a long break that they're dragging their feet. I notice. I know it's a baseball example, but it could be the same with any kind of math or any other homework or whatever. If you've been out of practice or been out of the groove with it, even just with this illness, that's taken her out of school for days and days and days now. That'll do it. Just that little amount of time is enough to really feel like, well, why bother? I'm already behind, and but she's really not that far behind because I feel she's already been ahead. Like she's already advanced in that area. So to catch up would just be like that. She'd just get it like that and just be already 45 steps ahead of everyone else because she already understands these things on a almost like spiritual level or like a mathematical DNA level. She's very in tune with numbers. Yeah. So much potential. It's like a spark for her. Math is that spark, and she just seems to lose it. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to last forever. And in fact, it won't last long because this is fast moving. And this is the card of passion, getting your passion back, getting your groove back. How Stella got her groove back. All right, one more about this. Anything else? Yeah, the Emperor, literally taking back control, feeling in charge, feeling, back in her alignment with it. And masculine energy, someone who's a tutor, father figure, someone, that mentor energy can really help with that. So that's double confirmation about the tutor. If it's not today, it'll be soon. Whenever it is, you can, schedule that or make it happen. Yeah. How is she doing? I know she was doing better last I texted with you, but I hope she's still even better today. All right, what else do we need to know for Kashfi and her love of math coming back? Breathe. Inhale stardust, exhale magic. And it's funny because she was having interruptions in breathing by having to cough, 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 cough. There seems like there's a greater message here with this. So it wasn't only just affecting her like life force energy to be healthy and feel healthy. It kind of did a number on just all the things, not even just math. You might even see that she's not interested in like some art project or something she's been working on, or this other thing, or whatever it is. Kangaroo. Unsettled times need to, yeah. But this is not lasting forever. So maybe even doing some breath work with her. Like breathing in, like, just, it feels like not something I can just point to, like, go do the breath of fire. Oh, go do this breathing exercise. It's maybe something intuitively. You're just breathe in, picture your excitement for math coming back in as you breathe out, and anything that's standing in the way of your excitement for math or whatever other subject, you're exhaling that as a black cloud of smoke that's being recycled back into the earth or back to source. You're working with her to connect to her breath to bring that passion back in. And anything standing in the way of that passion, she's breathing it back out. Yeah. Lobster, financial pinch. But, for her, finances are her currency in this regard is about that passion and attention. Where attention goes, energy or currency flows. So she's just feeling the pinch with her attention span maybe. And it's not even just in math. It's almost with anything. You might just notice she has no attention span for this or that or this. Or you're talking to her and she's looking this way and like messing with something. You're like, can you just pay attention? So there could be something like that going on. But again, mama in control, helping her get back on track. That's going to be very beneficial. Yeah. So it's not just this, that, or the third. It's a lot of things. And it's the attention span. And again, it's very intentional. Phases. Shine even when you're not whole. So she may not be feeling completely 100% up with what she's got to do right now, but it's just a phase. It will end. It will not last long. And before she knows it, she'll be back in the groove and probably doing better than ever. So this is just a little blip, little bump in the road, going full speed ahead and back to good. And especially with you on her side, most kids, moms or parents would, after a while just start blaming them. Like, why can't you just get back into it? You're not sick anymore. Just get with it. Like, but you understand on deeper levels, there's way more going on here than her just not wanting to or trying to rebel against her studies or whatever. Yeah. yeah, I'm rather not trying to control anymore, guiding her, showing her what is nice to do and what not, also the consequences. Yeah, for sure. I feel like you're doing the right thing. It's just all the time, maybe she doesn't understand that it's the right thing. But, you know, all moms know what they need to know, and then all kids kind of sometimes bump up and rebel against. But, you know, there are other forces at play, that it's not purely her fault or at all her fault, but, you know, she's being affected by it. And because she can't maybe take full responsibility, as we're talking about taking responsibility, that means mom has to step in and take a bit of the responsibility, not all the responsibility, but you can be that support and that foundation of responsibility from which you can help her thrive in taking her own responsibility. Yeah. All right. And then on the back of the deck, 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, she's kind of, this is like apathetic energy. I always get a clarifier when I pull a 4 of Pentacles, though. What's this having to do with? Yeah, the Star. That light's coming back. That any kind of energy siphoning or what have you that happened when she was sick, it's coming back. Boom. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to do our giveaway, and then I got to go. Oh, and our thing. I forgot about this. I mean, that went out way back. We're going to do our drawing. So let's submit you all to the drawing. I didn't realize it was already after 2 o'clock. We've been live almost 3 hours. I didn't even eat lunch. I got to go pick up the kids. They get out in 52 minutes. And I'm usually there by now, so we got to go. So let's do our drawing. Anyone wanting to be put in the drawing today, put a 999. I'm seeing 9 people, 9 likes on the video. And I will enter you into the drawing, and then we'll pull the winner, do the winner, and then I got to go. I'm not hungry, so it's fine. And it's funny because I'm on day 10 now, so I can actually eat right now if I wanted. But it's funny, when I'm allowed to eat, I don't want to eat, and when I'm fasting, I'm hungry. Like, funny how our minds play tricks on us like that. All right, Brandy Lynn. Let's get Brandy Lynn written down. And I know I have a thing from Marlene from our big giveaway for the candles. So I'm going to take one of Marlene's names, put it there. Oh, another ad. Go away, ads. We got Kashfi. We've got Amber. These are all going to be all sorts of mixed up colors and types of papers because I found the parts of the sticky note I cut off my Kanban paper board thing. And I'm going to repurpose them because these were just the extra from my Kanban board that I set up. This is like 3 years ago Kanban board, so don't think I'm being all productive over here right this second. This is leftovers from a long time ago. Next, Michelle De Leon. And Banana Anna S. Okay. Anyone else? Last call. Put your name in as I get these names in. Amber going in. Oh, my dog is yawning very loudly. Is what she just did. Banana Anna S going in. We got Brandy Lynn. We've got Kashmi. See, just all sorts of different papers since I cleaned in here and consolidated things. Marlene. And Michelle De Leon. Okay, here we go. Going in. Going in, going in. And, ooh, Amber A fell out. So we're going to take that. Amber A. She's not here, so we're going to timestamp for her. So we have 257. 30. Amber A. Okay. Itchy nose. Good luck. Good luck coming in for Amber A. But what does Amber A need to know? You won our drawing today. We pulled your name out of the hat just a moment ago. So let's get right into it for Amber A. Amber A, Amber A. Here we go. And we have the Devil card. Okay, so this to me feels like the creatives, but slightly temptation energy of the Devil card. Something you're really tempted to do, especially if you've made some significant progress or changes recently with like lifestyle changes and you're tempted to just kind of go off your track, I feel like this is outside energy looking to kind of derail your progress. But my nose keeps itching, so it feels like you're going to have good luck in overcoming any outside interference. Yeah, 2 Ambers, 1 today. Isn't that cool? I love it. What else does Amber A need to know? The sun! Oh, wow. 2 major arcana energies. And then this one fell off the top of the deck. The 5 of Swords. So yeah, you have some adversity going on, but look, 2 warring factions, 2 warring energies, but the sun will always dissipate the shadow. There's no choice but for the shadow to disappear when the sun comes out. And, you know, be it a real sun or a fake sun or a what, that's beside the point. We're just talking purely organic sun energy. When the light shines, the darkness has no choice but to dissipate or no longer exist while the light is shining. When the light dims again, the darkness can come back out. So your own light will take care of anything looking to interfere in what it is you're trying to do. But there is some sort of outside interference. And Amber A, if you missed our big webinar presentation about destiny swapping, this feels very in alignment. So go check that out. Let's get one final card for Amber A. Anything else she needs to know before we leave? Unleash. Hold nothing back. Expand into the universe. Just the same way that light just expands. When the sun comes up, that light just expands. It has no choice but to shine. That's what you're doing here. And then manifest. Deep. Dream deep and ask for what you want. So you can do some manifesting in your dreams and just protect yourself during your dream state. I think she was there. I want to say I thought she was there, but she might have had to go. I mean, we're what, 3 hours and 6 seconds into this beast? Yes, we've been here a minute. All right, well, that's going to do it for me, you guys. I better go. I got to grab my kombucha and just probably head right out. Well, I got to let the dogs out because they've been in the crates for 3 hours. They got to have some movement before I leave. So I'm going to go. But thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. Thank you for joining me today. This, to me, felt like a changing point. Like, we're bringing back our destinies. Yes, pin this live stream. I'm going to add this live stream to, if you check my playlist tab, I'm going to call it, I don't know, like spiritual webinars or something like that. I don't know, something webinars, to where people know, okay, we're really going in on a topic on this live stream. So it doesn't just get lost in my upload after upload live stream schedule here, you know, on the front page. We're going to put it somewhere where it's easy to access. And I might even put like that gut hijacking kind of webinar that I did a while back. I might put that one in there too. Although that one might already be in a playlist. I don't remember. But I'll kind of do some organization on the back end so we can keep this information at hand so it doesn't just get lost in the shuffle. But thanks again, you guys. I will see you on Wednesday. And depending if I finish all my thoughts on that next kind of webinar that I want to do, it might be next Wednesday, might be next Friday, might be the week after. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely be doing a pick a card at some point next week as well. So there's that to look forward to. But yeah, lots of good stuff, lots of good things. Keep doing your due diligence to take your power back. That was a lot of D's. Due diligence. And spiritual hygiene. Protect, 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 cleanse, clear. What does my friend Jessa say? Some ground, center, shield. Ground yourself, center yourself in your own body, your own physical vessel, and shield, protect your energy from those looking to siphon. Ground, center, shield. GCS. All right, guys, much love. Peace out. I will see you next Wednesday. Fingers crossed everything goes good and I'll just be here and no migraines or any other plans. I don't think there's any plans, so we should be good. All right, guys, much love and peace. I'll see you next time. Bye.